Hi everyone. My eyes are a bit sore, but I haven't been crying for England. Maybe I should be crying for England because they're about to be smashed. England are 9 for 204, which I predicted to be all out for 240. So they've got little bit of leg room here. The Indians are walking around with the massive Barrett Army flag, um, rejoicing about what will be a massive victory. Um, Undoubtedly, at 9 for 204, England have got no hope of reaching the intended target of 367. We've got some 32.3 or there overs to bat. Uh, Very, very, very unlikely. Although miracles do happen. Well, let's not be too presumptuous, but yes, not wasted has actually made a comment here. Gareth Banker must be upset. Yeah, I think he was predicting something else as well. I think that's not quite what's happening. So I'm actually on about an hour and a half earlier than expected because this match probably won't last the duration. But hats off to India. Everything that Virat Kohli's done today has worked, literally in the true sense of the word. Everything that Virat Kohli has done has worked. So, um, you know, it is something of a day that history always suggested that England were up against it. Krishna Sar saying, "No, disappointing batting from England. Scoreboard pressure. Fifth day of a test match pressure. Not unexpected that they would find it difficult. You could say England batted badly, but I think India have actually played particularly well. And Richard Vernon here has said that please pass on my apologies. Richard Vernon, aka Banster Boy, he has said, please pass on my apologies, Norman. Um, I'll be absent tonight. Strangely enough, that England have lost. Reg is actually missing in action. He's out of the bar at Lanzarote and Canary Islands, so we'll give him the credit with the fact that he's at the bar. Well, I mean, he's at the bar very, very early. That's for sure. But no, we'll accept that. We'll accept that. But yeah, that's the reality. This is Rashada bowling at the moment. It doesn't look very impressive for Milakshi Chambers. Oh, she's not well. Will be a bit concerning for Milakshi Chambers. She's going to go in operation on the 8th of September, which is only tomorrow. And Baram Arani saying we're starting early. I'm going to say I'm starting now. The reality is I'm getting ready to go to work, Penn Goldson. I'll have my earbuds on. What a match. Can't wait for the final test. No one to keep up the good work. Thank you. Not wasting it. Can't lose the series now. Well, they certainly can't lose the series now. They have to still take this last wicket. Wickets have been shared throughout all the bowlers. It's a very impressive situation. There's shells being blown. So 291 runs needed with 90 overs in hand with 10 solid wickets on a batting track. What was missing with England? My volume was low. Okay, let's have a look here. Is that better? Satvik Bagari, is my volume okay now? Because I didn't think there was any problem with my volume there. My volume seems to be right up. Picture of Shardul Thakur there in my so-called thumbnail. It's volume better now. Okay, great. So Daksh Ashwal, who's been on, so what's your say on India's fast bowling? England have been steamrolled on a road. It's not about that. It's more about like a scoreboard pressure scenario. That's what it really is. I think that's probably more the issue. And look, don't forget that they were none for 77 at the beginning of the day's play, so they've only contributed 132 runs for 9 wickets. It's pretty ordinary. Did you just wake up, Norman? No, I've just got sore eyes, guys. It's just a normal situation when you're watch the match right through. You're watching the match all the way along. I just haven't had it's difficult to keep. But well, well. 9 for 132 today. What happened? It's funny how that man said, boys. Oh, my apologies, Norman. I can't make it tonight. I'm in a bar in Lanzarote. If England were winning, he would have been here. He would have been on Win the Bar. So yes,
I don't know,
people ask me whether.
people will come up with funny reasons right now. Like my mother is ill, my father is pregnant.
Your father is pregnant.
Yeah, so I cannot come.
Well, Nalakshi Sharma is somebody who would have been here, but she's actually honestly going into an operation tomorrow. She's saying, which she mentioned she had a lower abdominal problem. It must have gotten worse, which is terrible.
Okay.
So Nalakshi Sharma is not well. We're gonna everyone, all our viewers have to feel for Nalakshi. She is not well, and she's just messaged me. And it's very sad that. Here we go. What was that gone? That was dropped. Now there's 31.1 overs to go with 1 wicket left. Baram, is a miracle possible? Could they survive?
Even if it's possible, anyway, I'm happy, Norman. So it's an impossible miracle. I don't. The even if bad light comes, still they can bowl the spinners, right? Or on the last day, bad light also does not matter.
No, that's true. That's true. I've just had Apple computers telling me, Apple whatever, they've said that I've got a billing problem for $11. Oh God, what are they telling me?
Overton got hit very badly. Huh? Did you see his wicket, the last wicket?
Yeah, he did get hit.
He dislocated his elbow or what? What happened?
It's hard to say what happened actually.
I'm waiting for the maybe some of the viewers to come over saying that India would definitely, especially the Indian viewers who were saying that India would definitely lose.
Yeah, well, I'm just it's an incredible situation because let's be honest, they were looking what I would say pretty damn good at one stage there, at least not to lose the match, with both Rory Burns and Hamid getting 50s, and Joe Root looking quite solid. Let's go through the wickets while we're watching here.
No, after Hamid got a couple of overs, I thought it was for 3. They were like 140 for 3, something like that. So I had to go to to do what you do, and when I'm back, I see it's 6 down. So I thought, how long was I there? So I see, oh my God, it's just not even 3 overs and 3 wickets are down.
Well, Michelle's got taken 2 weeks. Bumrah's taken 2. Jadeja's taken 2. Thakur's taken 2. So they've spread it around. Of course, Siraj hasn't taken a wicket, but so let's just go through the dismissals. Now, when Rory Burns got out, he was that was a very good ball from Thakur. That ball
came out of nowhere. That ball came out of nowhere. The one which took Rory Burns' wicket.
Yeah. That's the beauty of Shardul Thakur. I would give Shardul Thakur the man of the match.
Me too.
The fact that yeah. So they lost their first wicket on the score of 100. Now they're 210. They've lost 8 further wickets. Quite incredible. So they've been quite a steady collapse. So obviously, with Milan, his run out was a rather poor effort. It was very strange because there was never a run in it.
I believe it happened because of the pressure that Malan was facing because Jadeja bowling in the rough. They really wanted to change ends or switch, which really caused that.
It was Hamid's call though.
It was Hamid batting, and I think it was they wanted to change ends or what? What were they in a hurry of? Who knows?
No idea.
And Hamid, I don't know, you saw the drop catch of Siraj. Those 2 catches were somehow not good. The one
Siraj was hit in his personal area, wasn't he? But I think he was more hurt because of pride. He was more hurt because of pride, I think. More. Yeah. But at that stage, that was a bit frustrating. But then, post that, we had the likes of Hamid bowled Jadeja. Now that was a pretty good delivery that took Hamid, and Jadeja has not bowled badly. And then from there, so at that stage, the score was what, 3 for 141, and then Ollie Pope. I knew he wouldn't last long. Bowled Bumrah.
That spell from Bumrah was, I would say, is the game changer. If you ask me, that spell from Bumrah was the game.
He took Pope and Bairstow, which ripped them apart, and they were 5 for 146. And then Moeen Ali didn't last long as well. Jadeja's done some more damage. And at that stage, it was 6 for 147. So they lost 4 wickets and 6 runs. 4 wickets and 6 runs, which led to a score of 6 for 147. Joe Root, well, he was commendable. He tried his best to get through this period, but Thakur got him, and that was brilliant. So Thakur deserves the player of the match, I would say. Then you've got they're 182. Then Chris Wokes and Craig Overton have not lasted very long. Well, Overton tried pretty hard, and Ollie Robinson's certainly at the moment. But yeah, they had not much hope, really. And then Overton got that ball hitting on the elbow. And really, this is great scoreboard pressure bowling. India have done exceptionally well. And I did predict 240. I remember, Barani. You said, what did you say? You said...
I said India win by 111 runs.
No, you didn't. You said, not 111. You said you said 11 runs to spare, not 111.
I think I missed one then.
There it is. Now James Anderson is calling for it. They're not sure what's going on here. The decision is to be reviewed. He's been given out. That's why he's been given out, hasn't
he? Yeah.
Let's have a look here. It's quite incredible.
Let's hope it ends it.
Almost Yadav, another incredible. Now, what are they going to say about Ashwin? Oh, there doesn't appear to be any edge there. I don't think there's any bat on that. We'll soon find out when we get the Snicko. Well, it's a very thin edge, if anything at all. It looks not near the bat. Why are they doing this for so long? Just play Snicko.
It says big spike. It says out.
Yeah, he's out.
So yeah.
All out for 210. The hand's about to go up. There it is. England have been beaten by India by 157 runs. India won by 157 runs. Oh, amazing. And I'm sorry, I was wrong. I was 30 runs off. In fact, 30 runs less. India won by...
That's very bad of you, Norman. You underestimated India so much. No, but for me,
I tell you what, this is a major victory. Seriously.
Correct.
Major victory. Well, where is India win by 157 runs? And the man of the match has to be, well, Umesh Yadav. No, I think Thakur. Do you? What do you reckon?
I would see you need to give it to one, so I would say Shardul. But for me, Shardul and Bumrah both are man of the match over here, because on this wicket taking the batsman out, was very commendable. And one thing is very clear, like looking at all the matches, the way Indian bowlers are able to get the English batsmen out means when the conditions were really not favoring them, that says that the Indian bowling lineup is really, really strong. It's really something commendable. And they need 2 seamers to click. So today Bumrah and Yadav clicked. Siraj was he got back in line. He was bowling well afterwards, but still did not feel like taking a wicket.
So all the Ashwin critics that Ashwin should have played can eat their words now. I'm sorry, they can eat their words. Ashwin wasn't needed.
Yeah, correct. And it's difficult to say like what Ashwin could have done. Also, it's see, because I was
Well,
parallelly thinking to the Chennai first test when it was a flat wicket. Ashwin was, imagine, on a flat wicket in India when Ashwin was not able to get the English batsman out. What?
now, let's be honest. Let's be honest. Shardul Thakur is probably the man of the match. He would, if you look at the selection process for India, there was no intention of having Shardul Thakur on the side if Ashwin was in front of him. When I looked at this squad, and in fact most people looked at the squad, they weren't necessarily considering Thakur in front of Ashwin. They were looking at Ashwin on the side. Let's be honest, that was always the intention, and it's proven to be a masterstroke. So India can justifiably have said what they've done. Really, I mean, Rahani's not going to be dropped now either. India will go into the next match probably without Pujara because of an injury to his ankle, and maybe even Rohit Sharma will now be rested because of whatever injury with his knee. So that's significant. So there will be changes, but it'll be based on injury, not on form.
Depends how serious the injuries are. So we are not aware of that.
Look at the scorecard. Burns 50, Hamid 63, Milan 5, Root 36, then really nothing. The very disappointing middle order there. Pope, Bairstow, Ali, collectively 2 runs with Bumrah and Jadeja doing the damage. Then Umesh Yadav came in with Wokes and Overton. Really, this has been a superb performance by India. Umesh Yadav, 3 wickets. Okay, he has also contributed quite heavily in both innings. So did Bumrah. So it won't be Bumrah. It should be Thakur, 8 overs, 1 maiden, 2 for 22, and having scored that magnificent two half centuries. Shardul Thakur was, and he took the wicket as well, importantly, of the opener. Who was it again?
And Rory
Burns on 100. When in England were none for 100. There's no way you would have thought they were all out for 210. Unless you're Norman Kochnick, who said they're all out for 240. And I noticed David Graveney had a bit of a slug laugh, and Reg Vernon, I'm joking now. Where is? I'm pretty sure I've sent the link to David Graveney, and I'm pretty sure I've sent the link to all the English supporters.
Yeah, maybe they'll join at 1. Norman, we'll be there. We'll be waiting for them to welcome them. I'm waiting. Where is Anuj Ingle? he was wearing Anuj Ingle, Garib Banker. Where are those guys?
And also, don't forget, Rohit Sharma's 127 was extremely significant as well. That was a magnificent performance. What is the reason for England's sudden collapse? Good pressure, scoreboard pressure. Clearly, it's scoreboard pressure. Clearly, that period when Pope, Bairstow, and the like got out very quickly was clearly scoreboard pressure.
When they came out after tea, Joe Root had an intent of just scoring. If you see the first couple of overs, but unfortunately it did not click. But first couple of overs, the intent was as if to score and look at winning, because that's how Joe Root started. Then Hamid wanted to give him strike. So when Hamid was trying to give him strike, that's where he lost his wicket, when he was actually trying to hit the Jadeja ball outside leg. So
I wonder whether Chris Vernon must have another appointment. I'm not sure what's going on there. There must be another appointment going.
It's okay. It happens. Normal. It's up and down. It's okay.
I'm just being shaky. India surprisingly have won the second test and the fourth test by similar results. They won by 151 runs in Lords, and they won by 157 here. And there's another irony there. England were all out for 120. Remember, today they haven't scored much more than that. They were none for 77 overnight. They've actually scored 133 today. So in both test matches, they were bundled out 120 on the last day at Lords, bundled out for 133 today. That says something, doesn't it? Very good scoreboard pressure.
Correct.
Very significant. To lose by, they lost by similar results.
Correct.
Quite incredible.
The cricket legends. I'm gonna break my TV if Shardul doesn't get the Man of the Match award.
I mean, you could argue Rohit Sharma might get it. He may get it for his century being the only century of the match. He may get it, but I would Shardul Thakur. That 100 partnership was it 100? Was it not? How much was their partnership yesterday? Was it 100? It was 100, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was 100. If you see Shardul performances all round, it's like how many wickets did he take in the first innings? He took some in the first inning also, right?
Yeah, I'm not sure offhand. I have to look at that. But look, Shardul Thakur bowled well, and that's it. He took the first wicket of the day's play. He also took a significant hold on the match when they'd lost a few wickets yesterday and they were in a little bit of trouble. Well, that certainly turned around, and that's really India. India now is clearly the best Test team in the world. Even though New Zealand built them big in the World Test Championship, what they've done in this series so far shows incredible class. I know England have got, perhaps Ben Stokes not there, but England have got a great team still, and they've performed quite admirably. They beat India in the last Test, but I'll tell you what, the way that India have bounced back so quickly is quite remarkable. Really, they have to be classified the best.
That spell where Bumrah was bowling was really. I had actually to watch it. I had to rewind because I'd missed that part. But when I watched it again, it was a gem to watch. That the way he bowled out Bairstow. The Bairstow Yorker was amazing. Like it was as if he's bowling to a number 11 batsman and getting him out. The Bairstow had no idea where that came from.
Well, I remember the time that Bairstow had to go into bat against India in India when Axel Patel got him very quickly. Remember that particular performance?
Mm-hmm.
And he came in. Bairstow was thrown into the Test squad in India and basically got out. I think it was first ball that he faced. It really is. They really deserve all the credit here, India. They won by 157 runs. We did not expect that at the beginning of the day, did we? Oh, it's funny. Naresh is here. Naresh is here. What did I say? What did I say? I said.
Maybe Norman, you should shift. You should come in the between, so it's matching blue, pink. Yeah, now it's better.
I think I did say 240, and people laughed at that. Well, I was actually being very generous to.
You're right. Naresh, I was scolding Norman that he underestimated India.
Hang on a minute. Okay, no. Baramarani said that it would be 11-run victory.
I said
I said 75.
I
said 75.
What did you say? Naresh, what did you
75. I started with a draw, but then I ended with 75-run win to India.
Yeah, because you were gutless at first saying draw. You were being very cheeky, and I pushed you, and you said 75. Well, you got closer. Good on you both. Where is that David Graven? Maybe he's meeting the Queen. I'm joking. Did you hear his story earlier that he met the Queen, and because he got an OBE, an Order of the British Empire, which is a massive. It's almost like knighthood. And when he was there for that ceremony, he joked with the Queen about when the games get very close between England and other teams, that people hide behind the lounge by the couch, and he giggled. She giggled. So it was cute.
Yeah.
When was that? Very recently, or?
Yeah. This. What do you think, Naresh? Both Bharat and I were talking. There's no doubt that Shardul Thakur deserves man of the match. Surely the man's played extremely well.
Absolutely. That 50 first inning. Okay, we got 191, but his 50, that 50, very very crucial. 191. It was a low total, day one all out, but still somewhere, the lead was less than it should have been. So it's all about, and then he's that kind of a bowler.
I'm just watching. Bumrah absolutely clean bowled both. Pope and Bairstow. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, and Shardul Thakur has been a bowler who gets the breakthroughs, and I think that's what he did today also, getting Rory Burns first and then Joe Root. This is a second Joe Root wicket in the series for him. He got the first one also at Trent Bridge, So
Well,
yeah, I think
the fact that both Thakur and Umesh Yadav, the replacement players of this match, both took the significant wicket of Joe Root. And
they're so hungry. We come to know how hungry they are. They're getting the opportunity. They are taking it, and we have a little bit of a contrasting approach with the batters. That's more conservative. Compared to the bowlers. So,
now Norman will say no, that's we are wrong.
I'll tell you now, Ravi Chandra Ashwin's decision not to be selected was an absolute. We weren't. I'll agree. I didn't agree with it, but I now look at it as a masterstroke. Really, I mean, Ashwin, you would think would have taken wickets. You would think so, but they didn't need him today. They didn't need him today. They won two.
Today was pure bowling effort. Yeah. What a bowling effort! Because
So I was going to say maybe it's because I think there's some serious consideration to be given. Maybe India relied too heavily on Ravi Chandra Ashwin away from home. Maybe they expect him to do well, and he does do well, yes, but they rely on him too heavily. By having him not in the side, the whole team had to contribute. You understand what I mean? They created a team contribution rather than giving Ashwin the ball and letting him get 5 wickets. Sometimes that can be very important. Does that make sense? Not having your best bowler who takes the lion's share of your wickets every single time, by not having him on the side, it makes the whole 11 lift. What do you think of that, guys?
But I think it's still debatable, Norman. But yeah, today was pure bowling effort. Nothing in the pitch. Still, you can say there's nothing in the pitch. It's pure the length they have bowled. Like we discussed in the afternoon, probably India would feel at home with these conditions. But yeah, Ashwin, I think, can be still debated of not being in the side for all the 4 tests. And I think now surely he's not playing the last one also.
I think it was a reverse swing they started getting, Naresh.
With the old ball. With the old ball.
The wicket, Shardul Thakur's delivery, he hit the ball. The same positioning was for a reverse swing, and it works. Rory Burns, who at that stage you would argue was batting pretty well.
That ball, any left-hander in the world would have got up. And that ball came out of nowhere. If you see before that, I watched the match from ball 1, and till that point that Rory Burns got out, there was not even any chance or any nick or any close call which India had, and that wicket just came out of nowhere. And because that ball was so wonderful, any left-handed batsman in the world would have got on that ball.
Yeah, and that was the best partnership for them. 100, they put on the openers, and after that, just nobody seemed to have settled. Yeah.
Well, none for 100, all out for 210. So they lost 10 for 110, effectively.
Yeah.
So Joe Root's discussing, he's talking now. He's got a smile on his face. I'm sure he's not really smiling from within. That would be a rather disappointing situation for him. He's a good captain. He will applaud India's way of playing. India would do good, he'll say. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. And a test without Joe Root 100. Yeah.
I think the first test with New Zealand, that means England had a good strategy of not going for the win because they knew if they go for the win. And today also, again, same thing. After tea, they tried to go for the win, and suddenly wickets started falling. So you may argue that the first test with New Zealand where they drew, it was a good idea not to go for the win.
Well, I mean, there's still got, how many overs left in the day? There's about almost an hour and a half, 2 hours left to play.
Yeah, but 28 overs were left. Yeah, 28 overs were left.
So I think David Graveney said that England win with 10 overs to spare. I think it's not 10 overs to spare. It's actually England's despair. I think that's probably what it is. So David, I'm going to give David heaps. But trust me, that those guys will get me back. But again, I'll read. I'll be dutiful, and I'll read Richard Vernon's message. Richard Vernon's message. He was very nice to message me when he saw that England were going to lose. He said, "Please pass on my apologies for my absence tonight. I'm out at a bar." I think he's out at a bar consoling his loss.
Norman is going by the adage, make hay while the sun shines. So right now he's on Swiss.
I'm stating facts. Yeah. I said 240, and there was a bit of a chuckle there from David and Reg at that stage. I can remember correctly. The 4 sudden rings by Jadeja and Boomer changed the game. There's no doubt about that. It was just a class bowling from both of them. Nothing from the pitch for Boomer, just amazing. He bowled incredibly incredibly accurately, comprehensively beat Pope and Bairstow on a wicket that wasn't troubling the Indian batsmen at all. Umesh Yadav and Boomer themselves were hitting the ball out of the ground. Quite incredible.
Yeah, if you remember, Norman, I think the first test, Chennai.
Hi guys. Hi.
Look at all the Indian media.
Oh, different shades of blue. Different shades of blue, though.
Sid hasn't been around at all. When India wins, Sid turns up. No, I'm joking.
I'm a spectator who takes in ball 1 to ball 540, and then I give my views.
Blue is in the air.
Yeah. Except
Norman, I was
like
just
the Sixers fan.
Yeah, I was just mentioning that Chennai first test last day, Anderson got Gill and Rahane back to back bowled, and that similarity was what Bumrah did to Pope and Bairstow, it's on the last day.
Indeed.
Look, this is a magnificent India. You can say officially now are the best Test team in the world, despite the World Test Championship going to New Zealand. They've won in Australia. They've won in England. Okay. Admittedly, New Zealand beat England, didn't they, early in the Test series, didn't they? Yeah, they did.
I think for the first time, I think you will have a series or a summer in England where they have not won a single series. That might happen.
Yeah.
They haven't won a single series. I mean, they lost to New Zealand before the World Test Championship. They are, at best, they can only draw.
Yeah, but effectively, that's a loss.
We thought that the collapse syndrome, which often is associated with India, it might hurt them in this series, but the reverse has happened. The collapse syndrome is more with England.
Well, I was saying that earlier.
Shot to pieces.
The fact that in the Lord's Test, England could only score 120 on the last day. Today, they only could score 133.
Yeah.
In fact, again, they only scored 110 when they lost their first wicket. It's a significant. They lost 10 wickets for 110. That's enormous.
I'll again ask the panelists, when was the last time England managed a score, apart from Leeds, let me just not tell you about Leeds. When was the last time they managed a score in excess of 400 or 450?
In the second innings.
In any innings, for that matter.
I think it was only the Chennai first test. First test. Yeah. Yes. After that, it was in hundreds. They hardly touched 200.
And look at the result graph. What does it show? 3 plus 1 plus 2. That equals to 6 losses in potentially 10 tests. So it's obvious. England's batting is virtually non-existent. Take out Root. That's it.
Yeah.
Root didn't score.
Can you imagine 600s? Yeah, you're saying 6 losses, but there are 600s from Root.
Yeah.
So,
1,600 runs.
And especially surprising was that they lost their first wicket at 100. They lost their first. How many times has any side, for that matter, been none for 100 and an all out for 210?
I think the Australian teams in the current era, they were like that. I mean, Watson, Katich got them off to a great start occasionally, but then when there was reverse swing and spin, that's it. They would be all out for 210, 250 in that zone.
But when you look at a side like Australia, when Hayden and Langer would get big daddy 100 starts to there, they went on and scored 400-500. So it is a bit
But they would collapse against India even then at that time, if I have to add. A bit of a wicked smile. Even when Hayden and Langer used to score 150, 200, they would still collapse for 300, 350 thanks to Kumble and Harbhajan. In India, though, not in Australia.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd love to hear it. Kohli looks very happy, but relatively humble. And Sid, just on the Ashwin, we're going to talk about it more. And Naresh and Ram, what's your thoughts on the non-selection of Ashwin? They need to not talk about that anymore. I'm afraid they've got no rights to talk about it. They cannot
Lord
talk.
Shardul. That's it. Game, set, match, series, done. You can't even think about getting anyone else now. You can't even think about it. All the talk about
he really batted with beautiful shots, and the wicket he took of Rory Burns was a corker. Really,
the most powerful impact getting Joe Root when he looked set. And I would like, the MOM, I think Rohit is the MOM, man of the match.
No,
I've not heard that. Yeah.
We were so engrossed. We were waiting for not to update us.
For me, my man of the match is Umesh Yadav. More than Bumrah's deliveries. That one ball that he bowled to Joe Root in that first innings, which came back in, that set the tone for the match. That set the tone.
Okay, Umesh Yadav was certainly a major contributor, but you cannot not have Shardul Thakur as the player of the match.
I think it's 15 the first inning. It's 15 the first inning. Yes, he did made a 15 the second also, but I think the first one was very, very critical. 191, not a big score, but still now you can say was a little respectable, and that 50 mattered a lot. Yeah.
Yep. And today started also. See, today is Joe Root's wicket. I would say, okay, it was not a great ball. It was
bad shot.
It was a bad, rare mistake by Joe Root. But his wicket of Rory Burns is where it started. And if you see in the morning, nothing was happening. Like it felt as if the first session will go and there won't be any wicket. And just
but that's what happened. He took the wicket of Burns. The pressure was allowed to build. I mean, Malan struggled for 35 balls for just 5. Jadeja, Bumrah, everybody were accurate. The run out happened and that's it. The collapse started.
Yeah.
So when Bumrah took the wickets later on, that was not with a new ball, was it? That was not a new ball. That was still an old.
They didn't take the new ball.
Even more special.
Really. The new ball was taken only in the 88th over, and barely 3 or 4 over after that, the game got over.
Yeah.
As I told you, this Indian team just does not rely on conditions anymore. I mean, they always have starting troubles. I'll again tell you, they always have starting troubles in the Sena countries. The first match for them was not at Trent Bridge. It was at Southampton. They lost that. They lived true to that script. Now, I am only thanking that at that time in June, New Zealand stars aligned at the right time, at the right moment, finally after so many decades. Had this Bumrah, this current Bumrah that was there at the Oval, showed up at Southampton, India would have been the World Test champions. Simple.
Look, if we look back to the World Test Championship very quickly then, India had virtually no preparation for that match. New Zealand had the luxury of playing 2 test matches leading up to it. That was significant. You could see that Bumrah was rather underdone in that match. He didn't bowl well. Look at him now. Had they played the World Test Championship match at some stage late in the season, who would have won? I struggled to see New Zealand having won. Now, Rohit Sharma, has he got the player of the match?
Much deserved.
Yeah, Rohit Sharma's the player of the match. He did bat fantastically well. Yes, he did deserve it. But geez, Shardul Thakur is going relatively unnoticed here. He should be the first man selected in the next Indian team at the 5th test. He should be the first player selected.
For the second consecutive time, Shardul has flown under the radar. If you have to look at Brisbane, we remember Rishabh Pant's knock, but we do not remember Shardul and Washington Sundar's partnership. In that first innings.
I do remember.
That was the one. That was the one which set the matchup.
They set up the match. Yeah, they set up the match.
So and you know, 60 runs. He got 60 runs, Shardul, and he took 3 wickets.
And you know, we keep talking about all-rounder or Hardik Pandya. We don't need to use the all-rounder term. We have Shardul, an effective bowler and a batter down the order. I think he's doing what is required out of him. So we shouldn't have the headache of requiring an all-rounder. If he can do well, Umesh did well with the bat and ball. Jadeja played ahead of Ashwin purely because the top order has been very inconsistent. I think Virat gets 100 and you'll see Ashwin come into the side back. So that balancing act needs to be now looked at.
If I have to take on,
so guys, I'm just recording a message. I'm just recording a message on Facebook Messenger for one said Richard Vernon, or known as AKA Banster Boy. He's saying getting drunk due to a fairly close Kochnek prediction once in a blue moon. I'm afraid I've just recorded that. You'll see me. I'm recording it. He'll hear me live. Just guys, make your comment, guys. Just say hello, Richard.
Hi, Richard. Hi. Commiserations for the loss.
Enjoy.
Not really.
Beers on me. Rum is on me. No, and said Naresh Norman. And even if you take today's team, there is still a lot of scope for improvement. Two players, if you say Siraj and Rane, their performance, if you look in the whole match, has been terrible. They both dropped even 1-1 catch today. So forget.
Okay. But Rahani's not going to be dropped, nor is Siraj. Indian selectors
No, maybe after the series ends. I mean, they will not drop Rahane for the 5th test, but after the series ends,
after the series,
there might be some question marks.
Yeah, some changes.
But at this point in time, Ashwin's not playing the 5th test. I'll tell you now.
Difficult. I don't see him because with Shardul's performance, you can't see him getting back unless they decide to rest one of the bowlers, because partly you can't lose the series. You can't lose the series now. Maybe looking at the schedule ahead, they may want to rest some because Rohit and Cheteshwar Pujara were having niggles. They were treated to by the physio, so we don't know. But the bowling unit, will they want to rest Bumrah now? Considering he has to play all the games for the Mumbai Indians and also the World T20 within the next
5 days.
from
Within 5 days.
onwards.
Yeah, within 5. But Old Trafford, I think Bumrah would love to play at Old Trafford. It's going to, favor the seam attack. But yeah, what Sid is saying, I think it all depends on what's the outcome of Sharma and Pujara to decide on that batting lineup. If Rane would probably play the last one. But can Ashwin be brought in? Depends on what kind of batting lineup we'll have. Rather, I think Pujara may be a more serious issue than Rohit Sharma.
Okay.
Yeah.
If India are smart, they've got to remember one thing. They still have a test match to win here. They shouldn't make wholesale changes to rest players for the IPL. No way. Bumrah should still play. The changes that may be forced are Pujara's ankle injury. I think his replacement will be forced. Rohit Sharma, albeit an injury, they could replace him as well based on injury. But that would be a positive for Agarwal and potentially for Hari. Whether Sky jumps ahead, it'll be interesting. But I don't think they can't discount the fact that they want to win this match. They don't want to go and lose this and be 2-all, because India is supposed to blow up for resting players for an IPL and losing a test series.
That's not going to happen. They won't rest for IPL, but injuries could keep them out. That's the only thing. I think they will go all out now for the last one.
Because if you remember, it just flew under the radar. But I think it was day 2, if I am not mistaken. Bumrah was having some trouble with his left leg. I think he was.
That was cramp, wasn't it?
It was yesterday.
It was yesterday.
He had that cramp.
But again, a cramp could lead to something much more. And remember, it's not Bumrah is your all formats bowler. You need him in the T20 format for the execution of his death overs and Yorkers. You take Bumrah out of the equation in T20s, India's bowling arsenal is dulled even more.
So are you suggesting bringing back Ishant Sharma? Or giving
Shami would come back. Shami in, yeah.
And potentially Krishna is there as well?
No, not Krishna.
Okay.
Because he just came into the squad. There is already one left armer called Arzan Nagwaswala, but I don't think they'll play him. Too raw on experience, nothing else. So maybe Shami in for Bumrah.
But he's a classic swing bowler.
Yeah,
English conditions
Yeah,
are to be seen.
he is a swing bowler. Yes.
Well, Shami's an obvious selection for Bumrah. Okay, that would mean they keep the same bowling lineup. Other than that, in the batting territory, Rahane will keep his place. Pujara is the only one that may be considered to not play.
Bihari.
But if Pujara is capable of playing, he'll play because he won't be playing in the World Cup or IPL properly.
No.
So
No, he is. He is in the IPL. You have to remember, Norman.
yeah, but he's
Chennai
not
Super
really in the
Kings.
IPL. He's
Yeah,
going to
yeah.
warm the bench. He's going to warm the bench. He's not going to play.
Yeah.
So Agarwal and Vihari might get a go if Rohit Sharma and Pujara are injured, with also Bumrah being rested. They're
Prithvi
fair
Shaw.
replacements.
Prithvi Shaw.
Sorry?
Prithvi Shaw.
Yeah, that could be possible too.
But look,
But I think
a strong Chennai Super Kings and a strong Mumbai Indians ensures that India win. Let's make that one thing clear. Shardul plays for Chennai Super Kings, Rohit is Mumbai Indians. Both of them succeeded, and look, India won.
Okay, Sid, they
Actually-
all reside in Mumbai. They all reside in my
I was
birthplace,
getting to that.
Mumbai.
I
They
was
all
getting
reside
to
in
that. I was getting to that. A very like
They
how
all
they
are
say
from
in
Mumbai.
England, like how they say in England, a strong Yorkshire means a strong England. For same in India, if a strong Mumbai,
Yeah.
your cricket is sorted. Same, I think for Australia, if a strong New South Wales team is there, Australia does well. Right, Norman?
Yeah, but this,
yes, that's a fair comment. I still think Delhi Capitals.
but for
will
this
win
match,
by the way.
in case of England, like their CSK player did not click, and all the England players are blaming that CSK player. Like they lost the match because of him.
Indeed,
Moeen Ali.
indeed. Moeen Ali, and also Sunrisers, Johnny Bairstow, Duck, proving to be a big flop in this entire series. Johnny Bairstow, just 150. I think only 150 is it, right? That's it.
Yeah, but he
150.
hasn't played badly. I don't think he's a flop at all. So
Oh, he
India
got a
won
superb
by
ball. That's, I
157
think,
runs, correct?
yep.
157, yeah.
Yeah, but in
And
5
what
innings,
did I
with
say?
30
240. I said 127. I wasn't too far off, was I?
yeah.
No, you said 127, yeah, correct. You said
And
240
I noticed
all
that
out.
there was a bit of a giggle when I said that too. I said all out for 240, and both Reg and Day went, huh, huh. Just a typical Chris Vernon. I remember when I said Rohit Sharma would score 147, and Chris Vernon went, I was right. I am a guru of predictions. Clearly a guru of predictions. I'm clearly
Okay,
I'm attacking the angle with my crystal ball. My crystal ball here.
I'm so glad I've seen that
Clearly-
crystal ball now, Norman. It's been ages.
Crystal ball told me, and this is still, I haven't changed it, I haven't shaken it anymore. It said Indian victory by 157. I didn't even look at it. I should have looked at it earlier. Oh my God. No.
Maybe you put
Who's going to win the World T20?
Well,
Derek,
okay,
who's
right.
going to win the World T20? Come on.
Well,
You
the World
called yourself the
T20
guru.
Okay, the World T20, the T20 World Cup, India will beat, oh my God, wait for this, will beat Afghanistan in the final? Is that possible?
Could be. I mean, they may clash in the group stage, but
Can you imagine it if I jokingly just said that now? Okay, I'll replay that. I have said on record, India will beat Afghanistan by 11 runs, which was Naresh's thoughts, or Baram's thoughts.
Beram.
There we are. There it is. It's on record.
In the final,
We're gonna replay that.
Behram, look, he's relaying that score which Afghanistan just came close to 2019 World Cup. It's not a World T20 prediction.
No, I'm telling you, he needs to say in the final because this can happen in the group stage also. So
Yeah.
say the word in the
Final.
final of the.
Trust me, we're going to replay that in about a month or so's time and say, I told you so. I'm telling you now.
Yes.
Did
I
any
have
of you
this-
predict it? And hang on. Did any of you Indian experts predict that India would win by 200, but would get in on the lap for 240 or less today? No.
No.
I did.
I didn't. I certainly didn't.
That's what
Naresh.
I started with a draw and ended with India winning by 75
No,
runs. Yeah.
Naresh,
That's when
don't try and jump on the bandwagon, Naresh. I had to push you severely.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You have to push
I had
me
to
for it.
push you. You
Yeah,
had
you pushed me.
splinters you had splinters in your bottom. You were sitting on the fence. Big splinters on your bottom. Okay, so
Yeah,
I'm going to be
I agree.
smart
I agree.
now.
Yeah.
I need to repeat one more time for the record. Richard Vernon's rather sulky or whingy, childlike response, getting drunk due to a fairly close Kochenek prediction once in a blue moon. I don't know whether it's a blue moon at all. All right, I'm stuck.
Chris Silverwood says that the spell of
We'll just
Bumrah
wear-
was one of the
we'll
best
just wear
spells
blue
he has
glasses.
seen.
Every time we'll see blue moons.
Harsh Gupta said history was created today. It was. India are the number one test team in the world, in my opinion. Definitely.
And only if there is more history, only the second time in our history have we won 2 tests in England.
Yeah.
Only the second time in our history we have done it.
Excellent. Hey, you're right. Yeah, the Bairstow delivery was amazing, that's for sure. Amro said, nobody remember that Jadeja bowled 15 overs for 16 runs this morning. He's an absolute champion. Nobody should question his inclusion again. I have to agree. He did play well today. Well,
And
especially the way he bowled last evening. Yeah, last evening it looked like he was not getting his line right, but today he was spot on. Rather today all the bowlers, I think they came with that same intensity what they took at Lords.
Yep.
Now, there's some comments here.
And also Jadeja's bowling in the rough is an indirect way of tampering the ball, which helped it to reverse swing. It's a legal way to tamper with the ball.
Yes.
So sandpaper is also? I don't think so.
No, I said
sandpaper.
I said legal way.
No,
we don't need paper. We just need the sand which is roughed up on the pitch.
Virat Kohli is the most successful captain for India ever.
Yeah.
He's the longest serving captain for India ever. His pep talk before the match, the huddles he creates, create a certain amount of excitement and basically momentum for the team. And let's be honest, he supports guys like Siraj. He supports Shardul Thakur. There's no doubt that he is a major fan of those players, and they've come out and succeeded today. Not so much Siraj, but certainly, Siraj did really well at the game. He took 5 wickets. But Shardul Thakur is an unsung hero, isn't he?
Oh, absolutely. Opportunity given, opportunity taken, It's like that, he was injured after the first test, and then he was taken back in the way he has performed this test.
No, in the Lord's test where Siraj really bowled well and helped in. Before that, when he got to play, like a lot of Indian fans were saying RCB quota. At least after that, it was proven that that's not the case.
And probably that's the reason, Norman. India may not change the side for the next test if there are no injury issues. Only injury will force a change. I think they may go with this. I don't know whether Shami can come back, but Umesh and Shardul have done enough for them to play the next test.
They're showing Chris Wokes' dismissals. He played pretty well in the match, yes, but he's been overshadowed by Shardul Thakur. There's no doubt about that.
Yep.
And Chris Wokes' dismissal today, how did he get out? I'm trying to remember. How did Wokes get out? I can't remember.
On mid-wicket. He hit on Umesh Yadav on mid-wicket.
KL Rahul mid-wicket, just last over before tea.
Yeah. Last ball before tea.
So, look, effectively, you would have to say, really, at the lunch interval, what was the score? They lost 2 wickets, didn't they, at lunch? They lost 2, was it 3? 2, it was 2, wasn't it?
131 for 2, they were 131 for 2. Yeah.
So 131 for 2, all out for 210. Correct?
Yeah.
Yep.
That is 79, 8 for
wickets.
79. 8 for 79. That's pretty bloody ordinary, really. 8 for 79. At 2
Especially the second session should have been the best to bat. Second session should have
sure.
been easy to bat, after lunch.
There's no excuses. It was not the wicket crumbling at all.
Yeah.
At all. It was amazing. But we all knew it was 1902 the last time we scored 263. They only scored 210 today. It just lives up to the record. Records don't lie. Other than the Gabba record, which India smashed, other than the Gabba record, records don't lie.
India is good at smashing both sides of the record. 36 all out. 78 all out. So India likes to play both sides of the spectrum, not in between.
Let's not forget, it was 78 in the first innings. No, sorry, it was 191 in the first innings here, right?
Yep.
They were 99 runs behind after the first innings. 99 runs behind. All four of us would not have predicted this result, would we? When we were concerned that India may falter on the fourth day and England would win like they did the previous Test match. But no, India scored 466 with contributions with Sharma, but contributions right through. Don't forget Kohli also contributed. Thakur and Punts. Umesh Yadav and
KL Rahul, Pujara. Pujara is becoming a second inning batsman for India now. So he had a good 61. Yeah.
That was look at England's totals today, except for the openers, rubbish.
Yep.
Absolute rubbish.
And they have one more problem. They have one huge problem. Anderson of the first innings does not become Anderson of the second innings. His average, it's Bradman's 100 in the second innings. Oof.
That's very interesting.
Huge problem. Huge problem. And there is one more thing. Now, okay, you've got the Ashes after this. Prime focus for England, but look at your county scores. In 9 matches that happened in the county circuit, there were 7 scores of 150. That's it. The team total. Where are your batsmen? There are no batsmen in the English county circuit anymore. And you're producing 60 to 70, 80 mile per hour bowlers who just do banana swing. When you go to Australia, when you go to India, you'll get exposed. Your technique is not in place. After Root, take Root out of the equation. What is this England lineup? Because you already lost Ben Stokes. This chase could have been possible if Stokes played with that intent in Leeds. He was not there. And
that's
honestly,
true. Ben Stokes' presence today would have been a big difference. Huge difference.
And honestly, England have chased down 350 only twice in their entire history of 140 years. Where we all seriously thinking that England are going to chase 368 against this Indian bowling lineup. The draw was the most favorable option, but England's batting ensured that also did not happen.
Yeah.
I mean, twice 362 in Leeds, that also could have ended in catastrophe had Nathan Lyon just collected that damn ball.
Yeah.
And the one time they went past 350 was 654, and they just fell short by 39 runs. But that was because they had to take a ship back home. Beat that.
Very, very wise thoughts.
For me, I would look at the match in this way, that where England faltered was the first session. Yes, they lost 2 wickets over there, but where they faltered was they made very few runs in that session. They should have made at least 70, 80, whereas they made only 54, I think. So that really put on the pressure in the second session for them to start. And when they started, that's when the wickets fell. And then once that 3 wickets fell, it was a matter of... and if you're losing 6 wickets with more than like 50 overs left, getting 4 wickets, I don't think it's last possible. So I think the second when they came out after 3, I think they should have waited more. And maybe just play out the T session, score 70, 80, and then in last session, let's say if they had 6, 7 wickets, go for maybe 140, 150. Like what India did at the Gaba.
Yeah, they would have had that kind of a conservative approach. I mean, I think before the day with Norman, we spoke that, all the action would be in the last session if England chases this. The first 2 sessions would be like normal test cricket. I think it's just phenomenal bowling. I don't think England even thought of chasing this total. It was phenomenal bowling, which they couldn't even save the test.
And look, Ollie Pope, he got, 81 or whatever it was in the first innings. I'm going to say this on record right now. I honestly think he's overrated.
Who is overrated?
Say that clearly.
Ollie Pope.
What did I say? Ollie Pope. Yeah, Ollie Pope to me is overrated. I have a feeling about him, even though he's a pretty good player. This was his home ground. He scored 81 the first innings, but he got out really badly today. And a match that really is his opportunity to shine. I don't rate him. I just don't think that he's as good as they're making out. I've got this feeling that he's not. I think they need to consider blokes like James Vince coming back into the side as well. This is for the Ashes series now. I don't know whether it's going to be an Ollie Pope.
But again, Norman, I have to expand on Behram's point. He said that look at the conservative approach of England. Okay, you've got your 99 runs ahead. You should have pressed home the advantage, right? But when Rohit and Rahul came out to bat in that second innings, they didn't bowl with intent. Both stitched a 100-run partnership. But even here, in the fourth innings, England stitched a 100-run partnership. But where was the support after that? You had support all the way for India, from Cheteshwar Pujara till Shardul Thakur. Here, once Root got out, that's it. That was how fragile the batting lineup is. The conservative approach, if it was Virat Kohli and the Indian cricket team, even low on confidence, if I had to look at it, look at 2014 Adelaide. They didn't have any business going about to win that match. 364, they almost came close. Here, England just didn't even try.
Yeah, they didn't try.
They just, because they already knew, okay, the draw, because they were just so not confident with their batting lineup. And this is the potential batting lineup that you're coming to Australia, potentially, for the Ashes. Thinking, our 10-year jinx will end there. It's not ending with this batting lineup. I'm sorry. It's really
apparently there's lessons going on in the Australian lineup. They're actually having to reintroduce there's a red ball in cricket because they haven't seen it since the Gabba Test where they were smashed. Have Australia prepared well enough for this Ashes series? No. England, despite having been beaten, you would argue have had a little bit more practice. So I wouldn't underrate England in Australia. I know logically we should, but I'm not that damning of England in Australia because Australia, being very honest with you, are severely underdone for Test cricket this year. They haven't played Test cricket, let alone state cricket, since early this year. Horrible preparation.
It's again going to be which batting lineup, because again, see, the bowling lineup is strong for both teams. Which fragile batting lineup cracks first? That'll be the major question.
For me, I think England needs to have a more aggressive captain because not just today I would differ on one point that after tea they actually tried to go for it. I mean, there was an intent to actually go to win the match, but the problem happened that Hamid got out their idea was very clever that Hamid gives a strike to Root and Root tries to hit boundaries. They did that for 2 or 3 overs. In fact, if you see the first over that Jadeja bowled Root, the first ball, in fact, Root tried reverse sweep. So that intent was definitely there, but Hamid unfortunately got out there. Why I'm saying now, coming back to Root's captaincy, why I'm saying the aggressiveness is because if you go back to the first innings, when Pant had got out at Umesh Yadav when he was batting. Who else?
Shardul.
No, Bumrah. Umesh Yadav and Bumrah was batting. That time still he was continuing with Moeen Ali, and which I found still 2-3 overs. Which was found why didn't he get the Pacers on to immediately take them? Because that was another 50-run partnership stitched over there. Which was again, I did not see that aggressiveness in him. It was as if like, okay, let them score, we don't care. That kind of attitude had set in.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, look, after being none for 100 or thereabouts in the first innings this morning, they had an opportunity to really go for it. They could have even, I'm not saying they should have done it, but they could have brought a more aggressive batting attitude in, but they didn't. Malan was rather quiet, and Root, although he was steady, was rather quiet as well. They were shell-shocked by the aggression of the Indian bowlers. Even you would argue Jadeja was somewhat aggressive with his field placing. He had a lot of players around the bat. I take my hat off to that. They could easily have gone somewhat more defensive with their field placing. at that stage. Because don't forget, they were none for 100 or thereabouts. But you would argue defensive field placing was somewhat warranted. But they were rather attacking. Oh, look, Bumrah and Jadeja, and ultimately, well, again, the first wicket was Thakur in his first over.
And Norman, one more trend has emerged in this match. The two tests that England have lost, Lords and Oval, there were two things common. One, the tail-end partnership, and that tail-end partnership giving the bowlers the extra aggression to go after the batting. It happened at Lords. Bumrah and Shami, those two ran through the England order in the fourth innings. Here, Thakur, you won't call him a lower order batsman, absolutely not. But still, he shared vital partnerships with the tail. Look what happened. Shardul, Bumrah, all chipping in. No one took a 5-wicket haul or a 4-wicket haul. It was like a machine. Each bowler taking 2-3 wickets. So if the lower order bats well, if they stitch a partnership, that confidence goes into their bowling because they have got the momentum. It happened at Lords. It happened at the Oval. England are like the India of old. They can't bowl the tail out. They used to struggle bowling the tail out in the Sena countries. Now England are having the same problem in their own home turf. Same problem.
It's exactly right. I mean, look, can I just say this much? The way that Indian players now, any Indian player gets an opportunity to play for their country, they have to grab it with both hands and shake it.
They have to grab it. Yeah. They have to grab it.
Look at Umesh Yadav, who was a frontline bowler on any side of the world, can't get a look in, has to get in a fourth test match. He pulled his finger out and said, I'm going to not let this go because of Ishant Sharma's dropping. He came in and took charge. KL Rahul, third string opening batter selection behind Gill and Agarwal. He comes in, he takes it by the scruff of the neck. They know that they've got to perform when they come in because of the team pressure on selection. Enormous.
Yeah.
This whole team, if you have to look at it, they have grabbed both their opportunities with 3, 4, 5, 6 hands. Shardul, he wouldn't have gotten a chance in Brisbane had Bumrah gotten injured.
Exactly.
Same for, if you have to look at it, Washington Sundar. Had Ashwin not got injured, you wouldn't have gotten a chance in Brisbane. But he got the wicket of Steve Smith. And also in the England tests, he almost came close to a century in Ahmedabad, but he missed out. Such a depth of bowling and batting is there. Even a guy who's taken 400 wickets is not a certain starter.
You forgot Natarajan also. He had also
Natarajan. But again, Natarajan, that knee injury is pretty chronic. So that's an unfortunate problem that he's got. It's a chronic knee injury.
And let's not forget Siraj. Siraj was not on that slip.
Had not been for Mohammad Shami's injury. He's grabbed it with both hands. Now he's a stable factor now.
Yeah.
And Rahane. Amazing.
Kohli. If Kohli had not gone back for that paternity leave, yes.
Normally,
Rahani's
excuse
not
me,
going anywhere. Rahani's
to
the
leave.
side. Rahani's not going anywhere. Rahani can breathe a big sigh of relief. All the pressure's off him. And the irony is that Pujara may be out of the side, but not based on his batting form. Who would have thought that?
Who knows? You might be surprised. Next match, Rahul, Pujara, Rane, all three are out. And you may get a complete different crop.
That'll be sad.
Rahane won't be dropped. Rahane will not be dropped. If Pujara's out for injury and Rohit Sharma's out because of injury,
Rane can get a niggle also. There are still 3-4 days.
Norman, I'll have to take your leave. Got some.
All right, Naresh. Thank you for coming on to the
Bye,
phone.
Naresh.
Thank you very much.
Bye, Sid. Bye, Thank you.
Bye-bye. Bye.
Well, I mean, to me, let me just say about who, if Pujara doesn't play, and for argument's sake, Rohit Sharma don't play, Agarwal's clearly going to open the batting, I would imagine. Who will be first drop?
Bihari.
Okay, so Sky, I'm making a judgment call here. I'm not suggesting Sky should go ahead of those two, but what I'm seeing with Kohli, bringing Sky into the field lineup during the day and putting him into the slips. Now, I know he's a good slip fielder. Okay, I accept that. But you never normally put a replacement fielder in key positions. You normally, out of some duty or some protocol, to the way players join a test side, they normally go into silly mid on, fine leg, deep mid wicket, or mid off, mid on, don't they? So they put him in the slips. I know you might not necessarily agree, but I reckon that's a signal that they're actually considering putting Sky into the side first ahead of Agarwal and Bahari. I've got this feeling. I'm not saying with facts, but I have a feeling that someone like Virat Kohli may want him in there for whatever reason.
I also have that feeling, but I have a feeling that it will be Prithvi Shaw and KL Rahul to open and Sky to come one down.
That's right. Yep. It's going to be interesting what happens, because I think we're going to see changes now. We would never have expected changes after a win, but due to injury, the old dreaded injury scenario, they may do that. But really, I mean, Pujara maybe of an attitude, he'll walk out there with the crutches. We know what Pujara's like.
I think both of them would love to play the match, both Rahul as well as even if they are players, like even if they're injured, they will get to play. It depends on whether they say yes or no.
Let's be honest, Rohit Sharma 2 years ago, would you say he would have been man of the match for his opening batting performance of the century today? No, you wouldn't have. 2 years ago, you would not have had Rohit Sharma opening the batting for India, correct?
Yeah, correct.
Who was that? Was Rohit Sharma batting? Was he opening in Australia?
No. He was.
He was in the 2018 series. He wasn't. He was at number 6 in 2020-21. He was. But again, he missed that. He missed 2 tests because of the quarantine rules in Australia.
That's right. That's right. He did too.
So
what I'm getting at, though, is Rohit Sharma was not the first choice opening batsman for India a couple of years ago, correct?
He never was a first choice opener, if I have to look at it.
No.
He was primarily middle order, but when Dhoni pushed him up to open from 2013, then he established himself.
That was an ODI, I think, right?
Yeah.
But I saw Rohit's interview. He said that in 2017-18, there was a discussion, the team management with him, that he needs to open in the test matches. And he needs to prepare himself. That's what he said in his interview.
Yeah. Because from 2013 onwards, he became the de facto opener for ODIs and T20s. But in tests, because I think what happened was you had Murli Vijay at that time at the top as an opener. So the solidity factor was assured, at least till 2017-18. Then you had Shikhar Dhawan also. But with Dhawan and Murli Vijay not performing for 2 years, they had to get Rohit in to be that X factor, and he has become. Now, which Indian opener can say, I have scored a century in all 3 formats in England in tough conditions? No one. The list begins with Rohit, ends with Rohit.
Well, who have they got? India have got. They got, who's this person? They got. I'm just trying to see who they're interviewing. No, it's Root's being interviewed. Okay. Look, but let's just take a step back to the opening position for a minute. We're forgetting someone here. Who are we forgetting? Who have we forgot in this series completely? Shubman Gill.
Shubman Gill, yes.
He was injured early on. The poor bugger is going to struggle getting back to open his free seat. Where does he fit in? What happens when he's fit again? Is he going to go back into opening? No.
It'll be interesting. 2 tests in New Zealand after this.
Lesson to learn here is make sure you're not injured if you're in the Indian team.
Shubman Gill is now going to have to sit on the sidelines for an indefinite period.
He and Prithvi Shaw.
Or is Gill going to be selected in the New Zealand series at home ahead of Rahane? That's going to be interesting.
Because India will be keeping one eye on the New Zealand series, but their main thing will be South Africa. That's actually their final frontier. They haven't won a series in South Africa. this is the best opportunity for them to do it. If they can't do it now, then I don't know when they'll do it.
Well, I don't know whether they're so worried about South Africa at the moment. To be honest with you, they're extremely confident in the way they've beaten England and Australia both in their backyards. They should bloody well.
Series, how many matches in South Africa? With New Zealand is 3. With New Zealand,
New Zealand is 2. New Zealand is 2. South Africa is 3.
New Zealand, for their matches with every country, they're just 2 matches. I find that very surprising. I don't know. People consider New Zealand while like that.
In the entire World Test Championship cycle, the previous one, there was only 1 3-test series for New Zealand, and that was against Australia. That's it. Rest everything was a 2-test series.
Yeah, it's rather. I'm going to say this out loud. I think it's unfair that New Zealand are allowed to have 2 test series like they are and getting through to. They deserve, forgetting financially, to be made to have longer series. And I don't know whether it's going to continue
now
the
points. But Norman, now this point system will actually. It's actually made very beautiful that people don't realize. Now for each match you get only 12 points irrespective of the number of series. So whether you win a match or whether you lose a match, if you look at if you're playing less match, basically what does that says, if you're playing less matches, if you lose the match, you are losing much more percentage points. And same way, if you win, you are gaining much more percentage points. So playing less number of matches is also a disadvantage in a way. And playing more number of matches, so you can afford to lose more if you're playing more matches actually.
See, India are playing 21 tests in this whole cycle. New Zealand are playing just 12. Just 12 or 14. That's it.
Yeah.
India playing 19. 19. Highest is England, I think 22.
22, India are playing 19. New Zealand are playing just 12 or 14. So even if they get 12 points, if they win all 14, which I know is next to impossible, if they win all 14, they still end up with only 164 points. But India, England, and Australia, because they're virtually playing a lot more, they'll obviously get more points.
But that ranking will be on percentage.
Well, then let's hope. But again, when was the last time New Zealand played a 4-test or a 5-test series?
I can't remember.
I think it was 1984, West Indies 5-test series. But in the Caribbean, New Zealand has never hosted a 5-test series. Never. And I think no one is talking about this. It's not finance. I think it's the geography. For India, if you have to see a test match in New Zealand, you get up at 2:30 a.m. Doesn't make sense economically.
And also, Sid, you need to see that New Zealand team has now come of the age. If you remember, I remember when 90s, I'm not going into the 80s, but 90s and 2000s. For
you and me are 90s kids, I know. We used to like
New Zealand was easily, it's like we would easily win it. It was, we used to never think that New Zealand even is a competition.
But didn't win. We didn't win against them for 33 years. Even with that New Zealand team, we didn't win for 33 years.
How can we justify having a team winning the World Test Championship that don't play 5-test series? I'm sorry, I don't get that. Really? All right, guys, keep talking. Don't stop talking. I'm just busily uploading a video here.
Okay.
Keep talking.
I don't know. Means if you can give us to highlight the comments, or is that's just not possible?
What do you mean?
No, like how you pop the comments on the screen, we can't do it. So because some nice comments.
I'll do that. You mean? I don't know whether there's any. I don't know whether there's any ability to do that.
No, only the host can do it. Only the host can do it. The host can click on a particular comment,
otherwise,
and then you can. Yeah. Oh, Manchester anyway. The weather sucks in Manchester anyway. They're saying 3 days rain, Manchester.
Hang on. So what would you like me to do? Tell me what you want me to put up.
There is this one comment. Can we term Shardul Thakur as a genuine all-rounder yet? The way he batted was like a proper middle-order batsman. Sudhir
Oh, there's no
Chapliyal,
doubt.
10:15 p.m.
Hang on, let me just get.
I would say he's almost. I would say sharp. Maybe another couple of innings you can.
This one here.
Rounder.
That one there?
Yeah, but there was someone before at 10:15 p.m. Sudhir. There is somebody called Sudhir. Norman
Yeah.
can be termed Shardul Thakur as a genuine all-rounder. 10:15
Oh God, there's so
p.m.
many comments now. I can't find it.
Oh yeah. Oh yes, a lot of comments. Yep.
Okay, well let's not. But talk about it. Read it out and tell me.
Can we term Shardul Thakur as a genuine all-rounder yet? The way he batted
Absolutely.
was like a proper middle-order batsman.
Absolutely. His batting strokes were magnificent, weren't they?
Yep. But I think we have to wait for a couple of more games to ensure that he maintains that consistency.
Look at Richard Vernon. Look, he's just read my 30-second live thing. He's laughed.
Was he at the Oval, Richard?
Huh?
Was he at the Oval?
No, he's on a holiday. He's on a holiday.
Oh, okay.
He's been coming the last few days from Lanzarote in the Canary Islands, sitting on a beach with these dark glasses, looking like some sort of criminal.
Oh yeah.
No, Dr. A. Ramchatan Rai, his comment is that can we increase the umpire rifles from 3 to 5? This India started playing much well because of this abroad.
More reviews means.
Guys, just talk for 2 seconds. I'm just going to get a drink. I'm feeling a bit dry in the throat.
But I would actually agree that having more of this DRS actually cuts out the wrong decisions completely. Why just even restrict it to anyway? How much time waste are we looking at? Also, I would say this 3 is. I think they should not take it back to 2 once this COVID situation.
Anyway, if there is one thing, this TV umpire referral thing. Please, I've been telling it for 5-6 years, for 3-4 years now, ever since the DRS has gotten modified. Drop that bloody umpire's call. Drop it. It is the most confounding thing on this planet. If it's even just grazing the stumps, it's hitting the stumps. Grazing, hitting is the same.
My view why I would still go with that umpire's call, because why they have it is because of the error in the system. Like the DRS might show that it's grazing the stump, but it might not be grazing the stump. It might be missing, which maybe the umpire would have been correct, or vice versa.
But again, if you've seen the umpire's call things, it's very minute. It's not a big howler. That's the point. Even if it is slightly hitting the stumps also, it's hitting.
Well, it's out.
It's out. Yes, if it is missing, then clearly, yes, it's missing.
The problem is that DRS is not 100%. The people who made the DRS, or who they themselves...
Hawkeye, the one who made Hawkeye, they are not...
Yeah, that the software has error in that.
Yeah, that's the problem.
But it's improving slowly. Now they increased the stump height, they made the bails added. So if you see, that has really...
I don't know how true is that, but Hawkeye was essentially for a projectile thing. I mean, like how in baseball, basically a curve, it was never used to track a bouncing this thing, right? That's the story I heard for Hawkeye. It's only for a projectile, like a straight curve. It was never meant for bounce. So I don't know what is the story behind that.
Now they don't. Hawkeye was, if you see, it was old before the DRS when there was only that. But now they don't even call it. I think Hawkeye technology was something different. Now this is DRS.
Now it's called ball tracking technology.
So this is because they have cameras all around. They can track both the height as well as in earlier Hawkeye technology. It was not like that. It was only front and rear. But now they have, I think they have 16 places around. 16 cameras all around the ground.
Apparently, Hawkeye was used by Israeli defense. Oh boy.
Yeah.
What?
Yes. Hawkeye was used by Israeli defense. Oh my God.
Let me just read out the what Joe Root said post-match. I'll read it out for you. It's frustrating not to get something from the game today. We felt we had an opportunity to win, but credit to India, they got the ball to reverse. That was a turning point. Could have made more of our first innings lead, and you have to make chances count against world-class players. Got to find ways to get better, but be realistic and realise that was a world-class bowling. It might reverse at OT. Where we'll have to manage it better. Whenever you lose the game, you can look at the toss, but we got to be more ruthless and make that 200-run lead, which they didn't. Got to be clinical, not be comfy, make big partnerships. We play good cricket, and important to remember that. Looking ahead to the 5th test and the wear and tear, Woody is coming good. Injuries have been frustrating, but those guys that have the opportunity have been excellent. Mentioned too, Sakim Mahmood suffering from side strain. That's inopportune. So Joe Root has just mentioned that Sakim Mahmood is suffering from a side strain. So that implies he may well have been in the side ahead of Overton for this match.
Yeah. But again, the quotes, it's like old wine in a new bottle. The same ruthlessness he was talking about when England were in India. The same ruthlessness, the same partnerships he was saying when they lost to New Zealand. The same quotes have been refurbished yet again. But when your underbelly is so weak, you will be taking toilet breaks on a frequent basis. That's how this England batting lineup is. Ask Stefanos Tsitsipas how he did that. Classic case.
The player of the match so-called committee, which includes Nasser Hussain, said they were split with the player of the match. And Shane Warne was actually gunning for Bumrah to win it. Obviously, Thakur was in there as well as Rohit, so they had a difficulty. All right, I'll read what Virat Kohli said. You want to hear that?
Earlier, before you go on, Virat Kohli, earlier this player of the match was used to be given by the match referee, right? Now
That's
it's
true.
Commentators. When did that happen? Like, was this part of ICC?
I don't know when. I mean, I don't think the commentators will be the ones to select it at all, but it's their broadcast. They're paying squillions to broadcast. They probably have some sort of angle on what they're doing there. That's probably what
is this this must be an ICC ruling, right? I think, or how did they decide on this?
I think an ICC ruling is, I think, covering only for ICC events. Maybe for bilateral, it's a specific board arrangement. Maybe.
Yeah, it's
maybe the match referee need not come.
Not just here, everywhere. Even the Australia series, everywhere. Recently, what I've seen, but I remember previously it was always the match referee that used to give the player or decide the player of the match. Now it's been like the commentators, 4-5 commentators.
Player of the match or player of the series?
Player of the match, and I think series I don't know, but player of the match for sure. So like today's player decided by the commentators.
But I do think sponsors have a right to have something to say too, because they're paying the money. It's probably a matter of sponsors and broadcasting.
Don't worry, the IPL takes care of that in a big way. Every 6 hit, every catch taken, every fielding effort, there is a sponsor. So we need not even worry about sponsors having a say in cricket in the IPL. It's
we'll have an award for best DRS review taken.
Yes, it can happen. It can happen.
Best DRS review taken.
And even
but I mean, I'm being honest with you. I don't necessarily think that I'm being a bit harsh, but the man of the match to me was Thakur.
Player of the match, Norman.
I said, what did I say? Man of the match. Player of the match was Thakur.
Yeah, they're making it more gender neutral now.
Yeah.
Player is gender neutral.
Man of the match. There was only men in this game. What are you talking about?
No, that is why Cricinfo, they don't use the term batsman anymore. Batter.
Which is a baseball term, actually.
Yes, but more gender neutral. You can't call a batswoman.
No, they call it batswoman. No, they call it batswoman.
Batswoman, but there's no term that exists in the dictionary.
No, while writing, they write it. Still, ESPN Cricinfo, they write batswoman.
Batswoman?
I mean, but to me, a Batwoman is Halle Berry for America in the black outfit.
Superwoman,
that's a Batwoman. That's a Batwoman for me. That's a Batwoman. Oh, sorry, we're talking about cricket now. Sorry.
You are saying Virat Kohli quote.
That's Batwoman, this is Batswoman.
Just an
Halle Berry. Do you know who Halle Berry is, guys? You know who Halle Berry is, don't you?
Yeah,
of course.
I would like to see her bat any day. All right, I'm digressing.
Oops. I know it's 10:30 p.m. here, but
I
still
don't
too
know.
early for that.
Yesterday,
It's 2:55 a.m. here.
Yes.
I don't
No,
think there's
Norman
any.
said Alan Mulally come to visit you yesterday, something like that.
Actually, Alan Mullally rang me earlier today and wanted to talk about politics. And luckily, I had to go and get a COVID-19 test. I went down to Bondi Beach an hour before my session, and I went because there's a drive-in testing spot at the beach, which is rather nice. And they stick these two big things up your nose, as you know, and I've been tested. But yeah, so I was down there. I had an excuse to go out because otherwise Alan would have been on me for the next 2 hours talking. He comes and goes. I don't know what he does in between, but he comes and goes. And he's convinced that he's convinced that Donald Trump will win their next election back for America. It was interesting. Very interesting conversation.
Yeah, anyway, what was Virat saying, Norman?
Okay, all right, let's have a look at Virat says. Okay. Virat Kohli. The character that the side has shown to come back from a 100-run deficit showed we were not down and out. I said at Lords as well, I'm proud of the character. Among the top 3 bowling performances I've witnessed as Indian captain. It's relative, what you call flat. Field wasn't wet for like the first 3 days, but ball got scuffed up nicely. Once the side was heavier and exploited reverse swing perfectly. We believe as a test team that we could get all 10 wickets. On Bumrah, Reg voters actually decided to join. Wow.
How are you?
Oh my God.
I wanted to come on and say congratulations.
This is Batman.
A fantastic win, guys. Well played. Great win. Much deserved. Cricket's a great game, isn't it?
Oh, that sounds wonderful.
Commiserations for you.
England had a chance to win, and there was a definite chance to win for England.
I didn't see who man of the match was awarded to, but if it wasn't given to Thakur, then it's a joke because he saved you in the first innings and his runs were vital in the second innings. And you're going to tell me Rohit got it for his 100?
Yeah, Rohit got it for his 100.
That did not win the game for India. I'm telling you. If Thakur hadn't got those runs in the first innings, you'd have been 130 all out and probably 250 behind on first innings, and would have lost.
Yes,
he was your man of the match. You know.
Somehow batsmen hundreds are very highly overrated. I would say, or they are very high, given a lot of weightage.
Yeah, I'm not saying it's not a great innings. Obviously, a great innings, but it wasn't the innings that defined the match. It wasn't the performance that defines the match that won it.
Yep.
Thakur was great. Well played, guys. I think I've got an issue to take with Norman for something he said earlier, though. Norman said that he thinks that India and England are the 2 best test teams going forward for this cycle. And he's very wrong. England are woefully short of being a great test team.
I only said India. I didn't say England necessarily. I said India. But...
Oh, okay. I thought you meant England. Did you see, guys, there was a world record today. The first time something's ever happened in Test cricket occurred today. Did you see that stat?
No.
The first time in Test match history that a batsman in all 4 innings has been dismissed for exactly 50. How about that?
Oh, yes.
Never ever happened before.
Yep. Rory Burns, Shardul.
Stats nowadays are going to that also.
Yeah, weird, isn't it?
But even wasn't Kohli out for 50 as well?
All 4
Kohli out for
innings,
50.
a batsman
Vokes
was
out for
exactly
50.
Each inning, one batsman got out for a 50. Exactly.
Yeah, first time it's ever happened in Test cricket history.
So that can happen even like 40, 30, 27.
And if I have to extend Red's 50 thing, first time in 50 years we won at the Oval.
Is that right? Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean,
we won in
First time in 50 years they
1971.
won at the Oval. 50 years.
Yes, 1971, our first win. We won at the Oval, 1971.
Oh yes, they did a Test match special on it with Sonny Gavaskar. I've got it. I haven't listened to it yet. The Test match special team did a look back at the Test. Yeah, that was a famous win, wasn't it?
Yeah, first time ever we won in England. First time.
Was that the first? Yeah, that was your first Test match victory, wasn't it?
Yes, yes,
Yeah,
yes.
awesome.
Yeah.
That
That's
was a,
massive. That's
Yeah.
massive.
so yeah,
Chandrasekhar took 6 wickets in the second innings.
he could bowl a bit, couldn't he?
Yep, indeed. So
Fam-
50 years,
famous.
another world record, 5 instances.
But this is also the first time in England that the first 4 Indian batsmen scored more than 40.
Yes,
Wow.
yes, I saw that too. Yeah. And Norman, did
Yeah.
you see what other anniversary it was today? There was
No.
an anniversary today. It was 141 years ago today. The first Test match was played in England against Australia at the Oval. 1880, I guess. It's the anniversary
Yeah,
of the first
1880,
Test.
yes.
England,
How long?
That
Australia.
was when the
141
legend of
years?
the Ashes was born?
It wasn't. The Ashes was born, I think, the Test match after that. I
After
think
that,
the Ashes
82.
was the next Test or something like that. Norman, were you
Yeah.
there for that? Did you see it? Were you about on tour?
I'm just writing up. It's 141 years since the first Test in England, and I'm sure 141 years ago, if someone had suggested India would smack England, they would have posted India who. Anyway,
They fully
All right.
deserved to win. Look, anyone,
Norman, guys, I'll take a leave.
yeah, both Baram and Sid, you're going as well, aren't you?
Yep. Got to get up at 7 a.m. tomorrow. Shift. And write all about India's glory.
7 a.m. in the morning. It's 3 a.m. in Australia. I've only got 4 hours before 7 a.m.
well done,
Yeah.
guys. It was a.
I wish I was
cracking
in Red's
win.
place now. I wish I was in his place now.
Don't tell me that the Duke's ball it doesn't produce great cricket, because it does. It doesn't. It keeps a little bit going, doesn't it? But the ball
It
just
does.
stays a little bit harder, seems a little bit more, and then you get someone like Jasprit Bumrah, who's just awesome. I haven't seen the deliveries that he produced, those Yorkers, but pretty special, I reckon.
Yep.
They were very good deliveries.
But that is why playing Test cricket in England is the ultimate experience, because the conditions are so challenging. It will test you to the ultimate limit. You got
Yeah.
great grounds. I mean,
Yeah.
Test cricket in England is the pinnacle.
Yeah, and the cricket can be even in a way, can't it? It's different from playing in India when it's a dust bowl, when it really can be very one-sided. I think for England and other sides, but here you think that it's a competition between bat and ball a little bit more. Do you not think cricket is the winner, isn't it? It was a great game.
Yep.
And that's what
every session, every day, it's a new challenge. That's why England is such a special place.
Yeah, and the game ebbed and flowed, and we have to have it. We have to keep the game alive, don't we? We've said it so many times on here. We have to keep this going. We have to keep people watching Test cricket, and that's how you do it.
Oh, it's extremely exciting. Who would have thought that the score would be India winning by 157 runs when they were 99 runs behind the first innings?
Yeah, absolutely. And did you hear the crowd today? I was listening on the radio, and it was like India were playing a home game at times. It was packed at the Oval. There was a massive load of Indian supporters in. It's awesome.
But I think, Reg, there's a situation everywhere in England. If India comes, the Indian supporters outnumber the English ones, unfortunately.
Here said what happened, Reg. What happened that what I understood that the first 4 days of this Test match, there was no tickets available because they were transferred from the previous match, England-West Indies match, which did not happen. So those tickets were transferred over here. So there was a lot of. So this 5th day tickets was something which was just sold, what I understood yesterday.
Yeah.
That's where
they filled out all 5 days, didn't they? It was a sold out for 5 days. It's just, it's good to see. It
was fantastic. It really was. It was. Look, on Test cricket, and it's not just because India are doing well.
Norman, guys, I'll take a move.
Bye.
Bye,
Reg. Enjoy your vacation.
Cheers, guys. Thanks, guys. Congratulations on your win.
But you can come back still. You can still come back in Manchester, 2-2.
Yeah, well, let's hope it's not a great game. Let's hope the weather doesn't intervene too much.
Yeah,
it might not be so great in Manchester.
Indeed. Yeah, 3 days rain it's predicted. Yep.
Well, we'll see.
Bye, guys.
Cheers.
Take care.
Cheers.
Bye.
Look, thanks for coming on, Reg. I appreciate that. I mean, this is.
I'm pleased.
I guess you had to come on because you were being shellacked, weren't you, by me?
By you.
Now, look. There's no doubt that. I mean, okay, India's had a lot of success over the last 12 months in Australia, at home, and now in England. They are deserving of the leader, the deserving of the Test leading nation for sure. Virat Kohli's captaincy, we have to talk in superlatives about that. His captaincy's been fantastic.
Yeah,
His motivation of his players.
I certainly
amazing.
think he's a leader from the front, isn't he? You can't deny that he leads. He's up there, isn't he? Heart on his sleeve, involved in everything. And when it goes well, it looks great. When it goes badly, he has to take the brunt of it, doesn't he? From the Indian media.
And look, the reality is that the non-selection of Ashwin, I still didn't understand it in this test or the previous test, but now we can't talk about it, can we? We really can't talk about it.
I think Ashwin is too good to leave out, but I understand why they've left him out because of the balance. They can't get him in. It just leaves the side too short, doesn't it? As we've said, and I have struggled a little bit. Jadeja hasn't scored any runs in the last two tests really, and nor's Rahane. So still, Thakur got him out of jail, Norman. He really did. He really did.
Yeah, he did.
And Pant.
And we shouldn't discount Rishabh Pant.
It's great.
He did pretty well too. He was disappointed he didn't go on with it, but it's still very. In the context of the match, it was very good. But for God's sake, England were none for 77 overnight. They were none for 100, although they were batting very slowly today. They were none for 100. And
Hashim ran Milan out, didn't he? Didn't he run him out? I mean, I didn't see it.
Hamid did, yeah.
Just give me a second.
There was no run in it. But did you see the dismissal of Roy Burns, though? Did you see how he got out?
I've not seen any. I'm really sorry. I haven't got any feeds here. I was listening on Test Match Special.
Shardul Thakur's delivery, reverse swung amazingly. That was his first over. And he took the wicket and he changed the innings immediately.
Yeah, no, that was a big moment, wasn't it?
Huge moment.
And then Hamid running Milan out. Hamid seems to get a little bit stuck at times, doesn't he? Batted so well. And then I think he had another, like he did in the last time he got to 60. He suddenly got sort of dried up a bit. So, mind you, it's not a bad problem to have if you get to 60 every time, but I think he'll work on that. He's young, and I think he'll just work on a few escape shots. But let's not talk about England, Norman, because England was shit. Sorry, pardon me for my language. I'd rather just say that India have deserved it. I mean, you can't not deserve it over 5 days of Test cricket. If you win a game, you bloody deserve to win, don't you? And they've been really good. I think they've got. I think the selection. They've got a couple of selection potential problems, haven't they? And England might have a couple of selection issues to look at. Wood will come back. Guarantee Mark Wood will play.
Do you think James Anderson will play because it's his home ground and one of his last chances to play his home ground?
He bowled 43 overs, didn't he? 43.
Is there any possibility? Is there any possibility?
No, he's not. None. He's not retiring. None.
Okay. All right.
If he retires, I will come on and eat my words on the show. I will promise you I'll do that, Norman. I won't duck it. So I'm still away for most of the next test. I'm not back till a week today. So I'm not back until a week today. But I'll.
So you're going to be in Lanzarote the whole time?
Yeah, well, it starts Friday, doesn't it? So I'm missing Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Could be back for the last day, but next Tuesday, crikey, that could be a bit hectic for me. I've got to be honest, first day back at work, having not got back in the country until about 8 o'clock at night, is going to be a little bit challenging. But has Gould not been on to celebrate the win?
Oh, yeah. So
not seen Gould?
Sorry?
Has Gould not been on to celebrate?
No, he hasn't been. He's probably doing his own little special. He's got his own program to worry about, and he probably is interviewing someone. Or it's a big day for the press at the moment. Indian press are all going crazy. Look, I've got 169 on air right now, as a matter of fact. Yeah.
And I want to say congratulations to all our Indian fans. I know we get a lot, and I would always like to think, Norman, although it might come over. I'm biased. I'd like to think that I'm a cricket fan, I like.
Oh, we know that. We know that.
You know,
We know
I will
that. There's
support
no
England,
doubt about that.
and I'll criticise where I see fit. But and I guess I'm slightly biased towards England, like you'd expect us to be. But credit where
And
it's due.
deservedly so. I mean, they've played very well. I mean, they've played very well. I mean, you
We've got
can't
some batting
take
issues.
away from the fact.
God, who would have
Sorry?
thought we've never found a replacement for Ian Bell, in my opinion. I thought I was a big fan of Ian Bell, and I know we're going back a few years, but we just haven't quite found it, have we? That I think Pope will come through. I think they'll give Pope time, and Moeen Ali. I'm not convinced by Moeen Ali a little bit. I think his time's been run. The reason he's in the side is because they've got the same issue in away England that India have for the balance. Without Stokes, they've got a problem getting the spinner in. So they need that all-rounder. It's the same. Ali and Jadeja are almost a similar argument, aren't they? They're in there because we would rather play Leach and India would rather play Ashwin, I think. But it's
exactly the same, actually.
Yeah.
I don't think England's selections were all that bad, really. I think they did okay. But the real thing we heard just now, I'm not sure whether you knew, that Sakir Mahmood was actually considered for this match, but he was out because of a side strain. So he would have got a Guernsey ahead of Overton, actually.
Yeah, well, he might. Manchester's his home ground. So
if he hasn't recovered from his side strain, though, that's the question. We're going to see how he goes with his side.
When it comes down to a chase on the 5th day, Norman, there's one thing you need. I think you need a bit of bottle and a bit of guts. And I don't see that in England's middle order. I'd see it in Joe Root. I see a bit of it in Milan, actually. I think Milan's got a bit of balls. Is that a good word to use? Do you understand? He's got a bit of balls about him. But I don't see it after that. And Wokes alike. And until we can find those ballsy players, those Paul Collingwood players, I mean, who do you want to go into a battle with? You want Paul Collingwood. You know, Australia have had some great ones over the years. The Mike Hussies of this world. Would you agree? He was a guy you go in the trenches with me and Steve Waugh. We've had Paul Collingwood and Mike Atherton and Jack Russell. Do you remember Jack Russell and batting the whole day out? You know, against all sorts of. We haven't got them, Norman. We just, for some reason, this cycle of players, there's no one there. You know?
Well, Ben Stokes, honestly, is the major loss for this series. Had Ben Stokes been there and had been in any sort of form that we know that he could,
we might not have been.
For example, today, he could have easily taken scruff of the neck of this game and smacked India. He could easily have done that.
Yeah. But you also think in the first innings, when it was better batting conditions, we might not have been 60-odd for 5, and we might have got more than 290, which makes it even harder for India in their second innings. And the pressures are different, aren't they? 100 deficit, it could have been 200 deficit. You know, it's.
But the reality is, 100 deficit should have been a winning position. In all fairness, So you're saying 200, but 100.
No, but I'm saying Stokes had been there. It could have been different, couldn't it? It could have just been different. And the balance.
Well, look at the previous Test match. How many runs were England in front? 346 or something, weren't they, after the first innings?
Yeah, we were. Yeah, and that's no way back from that. But if you think,
and the fact that India did well on the 3rd day, but then absolutely collapsed on the 4th day, didn't they? So you would never have expected this. You would never have expected this result today. This has been a fantastic performance, and really, don't forget, England were none for 100, none for 77 overnight. They were batting slowly in the first session, but they were still in command. They absolutely fell apart. They were none for 100, all out for 210. They lost 110 wickets, 110 for 10 effectively. Quite incredible. Quite incredible.
Yeah, absolutely. But I wonder how the series would have gone. You say about Stokes. If Stokes had been playing, I think Moeen Ali wouldn't have played because Leach would have played because England have the extra seamer in Stokes. So therefore, do you understand? The full seamer down the bottom of those order doesn't play, and Leach plays. So it would have, ifs and buts, Norman, ifs and buts, as you know. Doesn't mean anything.
Okay, just quickly on the selections for the. I know it's a little bit early, but it's not really. It's only 3 or 4 days away, or less than 3 days away, roughly. England will probably not do, other than bringing Mark Wood in.
Yeah.
Now, I would have said it in place of Anderson, but it looks like in place of Overton. If Sakim Mahmood's fit, they might consider him. I don't know. But the reality is, I don't think England have to change their side that much, really.
Well, I don't see them replacing Wokes. I think he had a good game, Wokes, didn't he? I mean,
he did.
He's a very fine cricketer, and he hasn't played. It's only his first test. Robinson looks good, but I mean, he's played all summer. As is Anderson, they might think, but of course, there's a series to draw. Let's face it,
they can't afford to rest anybody. England cannot afford to rest anyone.
I think Mark Wood will play instead of Overton. I think that would be, and of course it's Old Trafford, so Manchester is the fastest and bounciest track in the country at the moment.
Right.
So you might find
it doesn't take spin at all, does it? It doesn't take spin at all.
I think that I'm not David would know more, but I think there might be a bit of turn because Parkinson play for Lancashire? He does, and Liam Livingstone.
Yeah.
They're both. So I think it takes a little bit, but I think it will. I think for the first couple of days it'll be the quickest pitch and the bounciest. If the weather's okay, well, it's all dependent on the weather, Norman. But so I think Mark Wood might give a little bit of a hurry up. He might get it through, and he'd be raring to go. And he is a guy who's got a bit of balls about him, Mr. Wood.
Oh, for sure.
He'll be up for it. So and Ollie Robertson has as well. So we'll see. I think England make one change.
As in Wood.
Yeah, I think India might have a couple more issues, but I
injury-wise.
Well, yeah, but I think Rohit and Pujara they just didn't fancy fielding. Pujara's a donkey in the field, isn't he, these days? So why not take the opportunity to get on 2 youngsters? It shouldn't. And this isn't against India. This is everyone. It bloody annoys me, Norman. I don't know if you feel the same. Bowler has a spell, goes off and spends 20 minutes having a cup of tea and a wash down, changes shoes.
I don't agree with that. But Pujara was genuinely
injured. I hate it.
He twisted his ankle. Pujara was genuinely injured.
But I bet he plays. I bet it's not that bad an injury that he doesn't play in 4 days' time.
Well, Pujara won't be playing too much. Well, he is in the IPL squad for CSK, but he won't play. He's not in the World T20 Championship.
Yeah,
so he may want to play. Right.
Yeah, he'll play. It's too big a game. And Rohit, it's too big a game for him not to play. Yeah. But the ICC have got to do something about these rotations on and off for the bowlers when they've just bowled a spell. It's just not. Every team does it. Not every single team. England do it. They'll do it. It's just not right. You know.
So Joe Root was holding a bit of a leg problem yesterday. It didn't seem to affect him today, though, did it?
No, I didn't see it, but they didn't mention it. Norman, to be fair, Root's going to play. I mean, he's
no, don't deny that. But he did have an injury today, and I was
and then he'll have a bit of a break.
Field,
he'll be in the T20 side, I suppose, the World Cup, but he doesn't make the first team. So, but he'll be in the side. He's in the squad, but they should give him a break. Really, they really shouldn't take him to the UAE for that. Get him on the plane. Is there any more news on the Ashes, Norman? Has there been any more press on it?
On who?
On the Ashes?
No, not really. No, it's been very quiet. Actually, I thought you just mentioned Nalakshi. Nalakshi's going into hospital.
Oh, is she?
Yeah, the poor
I'm
thing.
sorry to hear that.
Yeah,
okay.
she's not well. She had a lower abdominal problem, and she's going to hospital, which is very sad. The young girl's so young; it's something you don't want to hear about.
No, well, I hope she's watching, and if she is, love and best wishes. I'll message her. I've got a private.
Yeah, tell Chris as well if you could. If you
I will. I'll relax you. Get better soon, my darling. Please.
Yeah,
come back.
It's pretty sad.
Well,
she was on there
broadcast from hospital, Norman. You could have a broadcasting from the hospital bed. That would show dedication.
That'll be real dedication. I'm expecting that from her, of course. Of course.
No, and I'm going to love you and leave you because I've come back from just to say congratulations to India. Well done, guys. Fantastic win. Absolutely brilliant. And I will look forward to celebrating and England winning the next test. How's that?
Fantastic. And we've got the highest viewership of the whole 2 hours right now. We've got close to
have we?
300.
Well,
That's all right.
guys,
Oh,
I
it's
assume
okay.
that they're pleased with the victory and they deserve to be. Celebrate your wins, and let's hope that I can be on here smiling next week when England level the series. Let's hope so, or not. Fantastic, Neil. Thanks ever so much for having me.
Hang on. There's a question here.
Oh,
just show your eyes before you leave.
oh, sorry. It's very bright in here. It's 30 degrees. Well, probably less. But can you see this? How bright from behind me?
Yeah.
It's really bright. So, hi, sorry guys, I probably got panda eyes from the sun, haven't I?
Actually, can you just quickly show us the view from your balcony? Can we just do it to give the people just a little view? It'd be nice to see it.
Sorry. Oh, hold on.
That's right.
How does that look?
There we go. We're in Lanzarote, Canary Islands, off the coast of Morocco. It's a Spanish protectorate. It's off Morocco, not Spain, isn't it?
Yeah, it's about 80 miles off the coast of Morocco, African coast, but it's a Spanish island. It's about a 4-hour flight from the UK. It's exactly a 4-hour flight from the UK. So I'm about half a kilometre. I need to put this back on. It's very bright. Can't see it. It's about half a kilometre from the coast where we are. It's about half a kilometre from the coast. It's a 10-minute stroll down to the seafront. So it's not very far at all, and it's a pretty nice place. I've got to be honest. The food is. Norman, you'd like the food and the beer. €2 a pint, Norman. €2 a pint. That's
well,
about
if you go
one...
next year, if you go next, well, I'm going to be there for the Ashes in a couple of years' time as well. So, if not before, so we'll have a bit of a time, and we'll see whether we can fit in a Lanzarote trip somewhere.
Yeah, I'm having my bedroom decorated when you're over, Norman. Sorry about that. My spare bedroom. I'm really gutted about that. Just have it. But guys, congratulations once again, and we will speak hopefully later in the week. Okay.
All right. Thanks.
Cheers, guys.
Reg. Thanks, Reg.
Have a great day.
Enjoy your time.
I will. Thanks. Bye-bye.
Bye. Well, that was magnificent having people from all that. That was good for an English, commentator to come on and talk about the victory, which was great for India. We all know that. In case you've been living under a rock, India absolutely smashed England, having won by 157 runs with man of the match Rohit Sharma, but you could have added Shardul Thakur and even Bumrah into that equation. Amazing. Varun Kumar, what's the injury update on Rohit and Pujara? There is no update further than the fact that Pujara has an ankle injury, which we saw when he was batting, and Rohit was there for the Player of the Match award after the match. He was walking around quite fine. I don't know whether his knee injury is that significant, but seeing he's got IPL and World T20 Championship, things like they may consider resting those two players and allowing people like Agarwal and Bahari maybe to have a go, which would be great. Sky probably not, but the other two will, and Rahane will stay. And it'll be interesting to see what actually does transpire there. But yeah, you would argue that those two guys may be rested. James Anderson would like to have been rested. Well, he may not like to have been rested, but he probably deserves to be rested. But he won't be rested now, especially it's his potentially second or last match at his home ground. He certainly will want to play, and the only inclusion in the England side will probably be Mark Wood. Mark Wood, you would argue, would come in for probably Overton. Their batting lineup wasn't that bad. I mean, Ollie Pope looked pretty good, but he got out for a duck today, and I think it was a duck. And both the wickets of Pope, Bairstow, Ali went very quickly. It was quite a poor effort indeed by those batsmen under the circumstances, and you'd have to argue that this has been a fantastic result for India. 2-1 up in a 5-test series after 4 test matches. They're 2-1 up with a draw in the first test, which they could easily have won as well. They could have been 3-1 up, and I think they've incredible scenes, incredible circumstances with India's win has been well deserved. I have only 4 friends in my list. Okay. Congratulate India team from West Bengal. Thank you, real India. I mean, anyone who's online now, any one of you people that are online, please stop for a second and hit the subscribe button on this video and hit notification button, because I would like you to be a part of this show on a regular basis so we can bring in great guests and spread the word. So please, view, like, and share the post. Share it on WhatsApp. Go about sharing it through your Facebook Messenger friends, your online friends, word of mouth. get people to watch this video, and more importantly, subscribe. By subscribing, you're helping me out greatly. And the fact is, I've got Norm Koch there, which was my Twitter handle and my Instagram handle, as well as my Facebook and LinkedIn page, which is my full name. Dabdullah Bandia Paldia, India. Correct. That's the word of the day. Both teams need to be appreciative of facing the game to five-day third session. What's your thoughts? My thoughts are the same. Magnificent match. They really made a fight for it. Both teams contributed heavily to this match. Don't forget, England were 99 runs in front after the first two innings. India's magnificent 466 in the second innings paved the way for a close match. And in the end, they were done for 100, England, at one stage earlier today. But they're all out for 210 with a great bowling effort led by Shardul Thakur took the first wicket. Bumrah followed on with some great spells. And obviously, Umesh Yadav bowled well as well. They bowled particularly well, even supported by certainly Siraj was there as well. And Jadeja bowled well. And, his inclusion is now warranted. Ashwin, despite being the best spin bowler in the world, may not have been necessary. And I think that was a great move. And I'll make this point pretty clear. The reason why I still believe Ashwin wasn't selected was not based on him not being good enough. He was excellent. But I think the dynamics of the team rely sometimes too heavily on Ashwin, and other players can't come through and contribute as a team. And maybe that dynamic, they needed to check that. Norman sleep later. I'm going to sleep now. Why? What makes England's batsmen mistake? Well, they faced good bowling. Good scoreboard pressure was the major factor there. Anil Sharma, Sky will not come in for Rahane. He probably will come in potentially for Pujara or Robert Sharma because he's injured, with the likes of Bahari and Agarwal also being considered. Sweetest victory. Let's cut cake and celebrate. Arden Jingle, that was good. You've been a bit negative about India, but that's good to see. Bairstow's dismissal was absolutely a peach from Bumrah. Absolutely right, Shashank Kumar Mishra. What a performance. Absolutely wonderful performance by Bumrah. He is at world class. He took 9 wickets in the first test match, even though they lost. We mustn't forget these sort of facts. Quite incredible. Really quite incredible, guys. It really is quite incredible. A lot to be said. And look, Joe Root is pretty humble. He says he has to have more of a killer instinct with his captaincy. He needs to learn from one person, Virat Kohli. Virat Kohli is absolutely magnificent. Would like to see Lord Kohli to be a regular member of this team, even while playing at home because of his all-round ability. I totally agree. It's got a spark about him, very much punt-like. Very nice game. It was not Root was overconfident about the first thing. Well, somewhat, yes. Lord Thakur was absolutely magnificent. I totally and utterly agree. A lot of time for his performance today. A lot of time. Magnificent performance, actually. Anyone that's online now, please view, like, and share the post, and hit the subscribe button of the Eyes on Cricket Norman Koshnek. Eyes on Cricket with Norman Koshnek YouTube site. Support me because I support you. I'm here at the moment. It's 3:29 a.m. in the morning. So get on there and subscribe and hit the notification button. Share it, view, like, and share. Share the post. Support me. Biggest congratulations to the Crystal Ball for best predictions. There it is. So it is a magnificent thing. It's predicted it exactly. I'll be here supporting India. Don't worry. Rain not raining in first test, then India sure will win the series. So yes or no? So absolutely. They could have been 3-1 up and 1 up. They're 2 up with 1 test to go. Any update on Pujara's injury, ankle injury? Not at this point. He doesn't look that good. But Pujara will want to play. I actually said that India would get England all out for 240. It got out for 210. So I'm pretty happy with it. I did think the scoreboard pressure would be the key. But after none for 100, they lost 110 and with the 10 wickets that fell. And not forgetting that they were all out for 120 back at Lords. 2 very significant wins by India, both at Lords and the Oval, both the London-based grounds. What to be said? Will it be raining for 2 days in Manchester? Manchester, weather at this point doesn't look good at all, but there'll be a match there. But it'll be a bowler's paradise. There'll be no need for they won't bring Ashwin in, I'm afraid. They need to make sure they keep their Bumrah is in excellent touch. I hope they don't rest him. I really do. I hope they don't rest him because he was significant, absolutely significant the way he played today. A huge performance. It wasn't a new ball either, by the way. It was just genuine good bowling. And He rooted him like he had a brand new ball. And he changed the English line next test, your opinion. Mark Wood will come in for Overton more than likely. Anderson should be rested, but won't be rested. The batting lineup, despite not doing well in the second, isn't a bad batting lineup. They're probably not going to change it. Norman, yes, so whatever you said was absolutely bang on correct. Hats off to your prediction. Thank you. Take my name, Fearless FF. Good on you. They're supporting. I hope Fearless FF, you've hit the subscribe button. England losing the Lords and Oval by 150 when India was down on both occasions. Same was, brilliant. The way that India have played against Australia, in Australia, at home against England, and now away against England have been absolutely magnificent. They're going to give New Zealand one hell of a shake at home, and they've got South Africa. This is an amazing sort of renaissance for Indian cricket. Causes for the loss of England. Scoreboard pressure was the significant reason. Scoreboard pressure. Not Hindi, but Sinhalese. Okay. Ayor. Bumrah and Siraj will be rested and bring Shami and Ashwin. I don't think Siraj will be rested. Bumrah may not be rested either. Shami could be in for, who was Shami considered for? Maybe Bumrah. I heard yesterday someone saying India going to lose. Not for me, it didn't. Sorry about your prediction on next test. Well, if India have to be in a great position, hopefully they don't have a lull like they did for this last test match. England will bounce back for sure. Mark Wood will play a significant role in the next test match, but I think India's got the wood on now. Will Bumrah be rested? I hope he's not, but he may well be. What do I think? I think a lot of good things. Sorry about your prediction next. I think India still should deservedly think they're going to win the next test match, of course. I hope India don't put a wholesale changes based on resting. They need to win it, the series. India deserve to win the next test. They deserve to be 3-win up. It could have been 4-1 up if they lost on the first test. Wow. Why are you ignoring my comment? What's your comment, Amaya Moore? I'm not ignoring. Amaya Moore, I've got 1,000 comments coming through, mate. Don't say ignore. That really, really upsets me. Just mention your comment again, Amaya. I can't see it. Norman said, is Indian team the best in the history of the world of cricket? Well, the best Indian team, you have to say it is definitely, under Kohli's captaincy, definitely. I will. I'm going to be there for the IPL. Shub Khanwal, I was there for the entire 29 matches in the first component of the IPL on both extra time as the host and on my platform. So you need not to miss it next time. You need some Hindi. Raj Kumar Singh Raput, teach me. Would you think that India will win the series? Yes. How bad do you feel for Ashwin? I am frustrated for him. I thought he should have played today in this test match, but he didn't. He's still the best spin bowler in the world. What about your prediction of weather forecast in the fifth test? Any idea? At this stage, there's meant to be storms coming through the area based on cyclones that hit New York. They're expecting cyclonic activity. There'll be some days of rain, you would assume, quite strongly. No matter who wins or loses, it's great to watch. It was a fantastic match, guys. Absolutely fantastic match. Absolutely wonderful. There's no doubt about how good it was. Really, really worthwhile. Certainly was, guys. Michael Vaughan's underground. So was a few other people. Norman, hats off to you for reading all live chat messages without skipping even a single mention. Not saying there were many. Thank you. Can Ashwin play next test instead of Rahane? I don't think they're going to do it. They especially because they won't be changing too many other than through injury. And that would mean Agarwal and Vihari may come in for Sharma and Punjab. We'll wait and see. It maybe essay with writing not expected. How bad do you feel for Ashwin? Oh, I already mentioned it before. Okay. What's your think? Forget the flat deck. That's irrelevant. It's irrelevant. India had to score runs. They did. They got 466. England had every option to score runs. This was like a day 4 pitch. They got 210. Good scoreboard pressure. One word to describe the win. Monumental. Monumental win. Especially on the last day. Monumental win. That's all I can say. Monumental. Those bounces, Yorkers by Bumrah, were absolutely excellent. Absolutely excellent. View, like, and subscribe this YouTube channel. Support me. It is now 3:35 a.m. in the morning. You're here to support and celebrate India. Support me by subscribing. Please don't forget to subscribe. hit the subscribe button now, please. What do you think that India has? They did very well. All round, it was a great effort. Ashwin must pack his bags to the UAE. He won't get to play the 5th test. Kohli won't replace. I think you're right. Carroll along. What do you think about England batting? Do you think they need to change? I don't think they're going to change their batting line. I don't think it was necessarily the batting that was the problem. It was more the England bowling. Tim Wilton-Davies on Saturday. Jimmy Anderson will be bowling from his own end at Old Trafford. At the other end, at Old Trafford across the road, CR7 will simultaneously be scoring against Newcastle United. Well, how about that? So he's playing for Man U, isn't he? So Ronaldo and Anderson. Interesting. Very interesting. That's a rather interesting comment. I'm going to put that up. Magnificent performance, guys. All right. What do you think? Yeah, we're going to start. That's a good question, Listen. That's a very good question. Lord's test would have been slightly bigger. Actually, don't drop. Okay. And they can't be complacent in the next game because the weather seems to. Yeah, they're going to be careful. Nowadays, test cricket boosting, just like a person who has standard with patients and other formats. Like, that's true. Norman Sir, once a legend said, never ever. Do you remember? I certainly do. Great comment. Ashwin come in for Swaraj. I don't know whether Ashwin's going to come in now because it's not good enough, but it's just Abhishek Sharma, Indian bowlers that could be rested in the 5th. But Bumrah probably deserves a rest, but he may not want to be. Okay. Bring Michael Vaughan on your show, channel, mate. I don't think he's going on anyone's channel at the moment. Bowlers remind me of Wasim Akar in terms of reverse swing. They certainly do. Great bowling. Shardul Thakur today took wickets, scored runs when it was needed in both innings. Don't forget, they got 191, and they got 191 because 63 of the runs came from, or 60, 57 or so, whatever it was. What many runs did he score in the first inning? Let's have a look. I think it was 63, but it was a 60-run partnership. How important was Shardul Thakur in this match? How important was Shardul Thakur? Let me just tell you, guys. He was extremely important. Extremely important. Extremely important. It's very, very interesting. A little bit of a computer glitch. The computer's certainly going a bit nuts here, guys. Thanks to your efforts. Ashes starts when? It's a signature brand match between it. I have a question. I should start before. I said, well, no, I don't. After late in December, I think it is, in fact. Shardul should have been man of the match. I actually think that would have been my pick. Rohit Sharma was a masterclass in Test opening batting in England. He has proven to be a true Test batsman now, and if he continues, he'll get a lot of runs in his twilight of his career. His one-day T20 performances have been through the roof for Mumbai innings for India, but he's now also compared that with Test level. We are Indians, and we respect every player who got skills. Some old players, old age humdrews like Mr. Vaughan, insulting with racism, perhaps upload Kohli's interview. I won't be able to, Harsh. That's something that we can't do. We can't upload. We can talk about it, we can't upload. Can England have that team get back to the team? I think England will keep a similar side. Rishabh Pant's batting. Rishabh Pant, despite not going aggressive like we normally do, played a very significant innings in the way that he was able to support Shardul Thakur and get 50 very important runs yesterday. Excellent performance. England missed pace of Wood in their seconds. Yeah, they did. They probably needed a spinner as well, a better spinner. Gabriel Lords or Oval. Gabba still that is still the most significant winner ever because they had 9 players out now. You can't beat that. Can England have? What about Overton? England player? I don't think Overton will be. He filled well. He took some good catches, but his bowling was a little bit underdone. And Wood's back in next match. I think England only 2 men, 10 apart from Root and Jimmy. No one looked comfortable. So, yeah, but definitely Gabba over. Gabba Lords over. That's probably the order. Do you think India can bring Pasodi Cup home? Well, they got a big fat hand on it at the moment, haven't they? Hardik India are searching for. Yeah, I would agree. Shardul Thakur is now going to get better and better and better. There's no doubt about that. He is going to get better. It's going to be quite an effort to see him, take on that spell. Virat Kohli's captain today was hot. He is. Virat Kohli, most successful Indian captain, most capped Indian captain. Let's not deny that. Who won the Ashes? What do you think? Very, very hard to pick. Australia at home should, but England will bounce back. Bummer's remote. Yeah, it was very much like Rahane dropped a catch that reflects the so. Yeah, don't bag on Rahane. Leave Rahane alone. What about England? England certainly capitulated. They were none for 100. They were all out for 210. I predicted 240. Kohli's weapon is his aggression, which injects energy in his team. I totally agree, Roshan Rajak. I would totally and utterly agree with it. Totally and utterly agree with it. England will come back. So what's your name? Where will you stay? What's my name? Norman Kochenek. Eyes on Cricket with Norman Kochenek. It's a YouTube channel. Prashanth, you should. And I'm from Australia, from Coogee Beach, Sydney, Australia. And that's my channel. So Prashanth, Mr. You need to actually go and hit the subscribe button now. Kohli, we talked about it already. Potato bowling for Englishmen. Okay. What about, difference between captains? Both good captains in their own right. Dhoni was certainly a great captain, they're both great captains. I can't split them, actually. For 4 days, everyone was cribbing about flat pitch. What changed today? Exactly. Is England's cricket team good? They are good. Yashraj Tust, Match Jadu should be rested on IPL World Cup. Yeah, it's true. All about it. Yeah. It was a whole team effort. It was definitely a whole team effort. It was great. Can you describe the series in one sentence? The dawn of Indian cricket has come. The horizon for India is now here. They are at the crescendo. They are the leading team in the world. It would be interesting if Ashes had played in India. Well, it wouldn't be. If Shami plays next match, then who should he come in for? Probably, it's a hard one. It could be either. It could be Bumrah. Could be. But Umesh Yadav should stay for sure. This year Ashes, any chance you give a look at 5-0 for? I don't. Lost to Australia, lose. Australia will lose 5-0, but it could be something like 3-2 in England's way. You never know. Now I think Manchester's wicket will be green top because this might be Jimmy's last test. He wants to win at any cost. Well, I think it'll suit India's bowling as well. The pitch wasn't that flat. Yeah, Tim Wilton Davies says England has to replace Mullen with Leach. I think Leach will come into play, yes. I think you're right, Pavani. I would say that Tucker was. I thought he was the player of the match. I think he was. Rowan Sharma's innings was very significant too. But no, I think Tucker. China's going to beat England in upcoming Ashes short. Well, Australia need to get some match practice under their belt. Manchester match, I think India's going to win. Why wouldn't they win? Ashwin's by far better than Nathan Lyon. Yeah, I think Australia did well. Okay, so I'll subscribe to your channel. Please, that would be good if you do. Please do that. Would be a lot of respect towards me to actually be a part of this channel. Looks like my YouTube is okay. Soraya Guthrie, you've been with me for a while. I'm reading about the 97 England book by Buri Majuna, very inspiring words and best with sweet memories by legendary Sir Gavaskar. Hail Sonny. I'm reading it a little bit, but I'm watching the words as well. Okay, thank you very much. Appreciate that. Nice, because Buri Majuna is a good friend of mine. You know that he's on my show. Excellent stream. Thank you, Hardy Colour. Rohit Pajara, Rahani, and so I don't know whether they're going to rest. I don't think Saha's coming in. No, he's not coming in. Hunt will stay. Ashwin, unlikely to. The only one that really will change is probably Pajara out. That's what's going to happen. We don't know, do we? Why is England struggling so much in the middle order, even though they haven't experienced batsmen like Moen and Bell? Well, I think it was more the Indian bowling than the England batting. The Dark Knight. Nathan Lyon. I don't think so. Omkar, I don't think so. Next test match is September the 10th. That's on Friday. Today is Monday. Well, now it's in the Tuesday here in Australia, but yeah, it's on Friday, so not very far away. Without talking, no, we weren't in the deep hole at all. What are you talking about? Who was good, but he played an important role, though. Any words on the Pakistan squad for the tour? It's a good side. I like Harris Ralph. Lokesh Lomrod. Hello, sir. How are you, Lokesh? Have you subscribed? Prashant, I know, has. It's the 10th of September, actually. As an invincible. They certainly wouldn't appear to be invincible now. I think so. Why not say that? I think Coley is the best captain. Waiting for Ashes. Well, come and join my channel, Srinath Prasad. England missed Butler because Butler's keeping. I don't think BSO played badly at all. A top three series. Well, the one that happened in Australia, the Ashes, not the Ashes, the Gabba, the Ashes in 2005, and maybe the tie test at Gabba as well. Could Rahane play? Yeah, he will. I mentioned what about? Oh, I think you're right. Bummer spell was very risky. There we go. Okay, fair enough. Coley's more than a bowler's captain. He's a batting. Lions are more effective than Ashton against England in trying to down. Ashes is more creative, though. Ashton's a better bowler. I think he'll play another one, don't I? What happened to Java? Well, he didn't run on the field. He was stopped this time. Okay. Rowan is injured. He has a knee injury. There's a lot of discussion about that. We'll wait and see what actually transpires there. I think England's still good, don't worry. They'll bounce back. 3 nations. Yeah. Hello, Pratik Patnik. How are you? Anyone's Pratik Patnik, if you're coming on making comments and expect me to say hi to you, subscribe now. Subscribe and hit the notification line. Okay. Team India will have a very similar look to the one that went to Sri Lanka, I would argue. Shikhar Dhawan will get in as well. Robert Sharma will be there. Gill will be there if he's not injured. The bowling strength's a huge. First class, $1 million. No. I love the Indian team. I do too. Is that the best touring side currently? Yes, absolutely. They beat Australia in Australia and England in England. There's no doubt All India cannot lose, that's for sure. I agree, Abhishek. I agree totally. Agarwal and Vihari. Hello, Dilip Kumar. I hope you're also, that sounds like a name that I've heard before, but make sure you subscribe. Rowan Century was magnificent. Sky could be in there, but I don't think, not for Rahane. Can you tell me this? India. Kohli's not going to change. Why would you change Kohli's captaincy? Do you feel this is the best? Yes. Root failed. Well, his team failed more than Root. Hello. Abhinan Mapatra, how are you? Java is on in criticism now. Here's Hardik Yadav. Didn't care about no coaches were there. He knew what to do. According to me, I would agree. Well, they've already won the series almost, haven't they? Thanks, thank you very much. It's very nice of you to make comment on that. Where Englishman bat, I think now is lost. We had Reg Vernon on earlier. Don't worry, we had a lot of people on before. We had David Gravney on this earlier today. Our aggression was Kohli Rahane. Which captaincy you enjoyed? Both. Java is very happy. I'm fine, sir. How are you? Good. Hats off to your efforts. Thank you. This route, what are your views on Kapil Dev's captaincy? Garrett's the leading captain. Simple. That's very true, guys. Dropping catches and crime. I think England, yeah, they were pretty disappointing. Thank you for the sacrifice. If India starts with in the final test, they'll win. If the same first things collapse, I don't think India can't drop the mental strength that they've got at the moment. They've got to not do that. All right, guys, I'm going to start to consider. We need to be able to just check what's going on in the world of commentary. It's been 20-odd thousand people watching this, so I'm really impressed. Shami going to play next match? Yes, Shami's definitely playing next match. What will be the Indian looking for next match? Well, Vishwa JD, I hope you've subscribed. Clearly, Shami will come back in and one of the bowls will be rested. Batting-wise, Pujara and Rohit Sharma's physical condition will be questioned. The Private Don, that's the book behind me, you're right. So always live. Thank you. Nagraj Bunny. Well, India, England bounced in excess, yes. A lot of averages. Yeah. World Cup squads will be announced very short. You've been such a sincere and great person. Thank you. It's a green pitch, Old Trafford. It'll still favour India. Your opinion about Virat's captaincy. Virat's captaincy is absolutely brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. A lot to be said about his captaincy. Huge accolades for his captaincy. No doubt at all. Huge accolades for his captaincy. Absolutely magnificent for his captaincy. Captaincy is beyond anything you can imagine. Guys, please subscribe if you're online now and show me evidence that you're supporting me. Really important for my page to be able to get that support that I need to keep growing. Okay, I really would appreciate that big time. Very important to me. I'm after 20,000 subscribers. We're getting closer. Let's get up there, guys. A lot of comments about Jasprit Bumrah's performance today. Really, really was excellent. Really excellent performance by Jasprit Bumrah. Shardul Thakur, remember that name. Remember the name. Shardul Thakur, he's been fantastic. Deserves all the accolades he's getting. Really, really clever. Comments from Rahani's home. Let Aniket Kumar Keshri. Let's not concentrate on Rahane. Rahane is the least important of the discussion. Talk about Bumrah, Thakur, Rohit Sharma, Kohli's captaincy, all great. Agarwal is also good. Yes, he is. He'll probably come in for, depending on how Pujara and that go. Norman, tell me how the pitch is going to behave. I think, quite frankly, what have we got going on here? Why have we got billing? There should be no billing problems at all, guys. I thought I cleared that up. I must have sorted something out here, guys. Yeah, no, it's been great. The weather on all 5 days, we don't know exactly, but there's a chance of a storm, a cyclonic or cyclone or typhoon type performance coming through from New York, which will mean that there'll be periods of heavy rain. Could be a day or so washed out. So it's not looking very good for a completed match, but it'll be a bowler's paradise. And it will not be appropriate for a batting team to come in and it'll probably suit the likes of it'll suit undoubtedly it'll suit the bowlers, and Anderson, even though he's played so many tests, will want to play. Wood will be in there. It'll be an interesting match. It'll test. It will test the Indian batters, but let's hope that we get. If Pujara's not on there, we'll get Agarwal and Rafa Hari in there, which will be a great thing for the team. Absolutely. Okay. Now focus on IPL. No, Pratush Ray, not just yet. That's coming up very shortly, September 19th. 12 days. I think it's 12 days from the IPL starting. And then October, we'll get the World Cup. Virat dedication towards Test cricket is superb. India has just given a huge boost. Exactly. Do you think recent threes India are now chokers in big matches? No. Who was good captain, Root or Virat? Virat certainly is proving to be slightly ahead. Root is the better player in terms of his batting at the moment. Bush Bhuvi Kumar, he'll get back in at some stage, but he was there still. Didn't he take a day off at Headlinks to come back strong? Maybe you could argue, but they're ahead now. Where is the man of the series? It's going to be interesting how that develops over the next few tests. Who should you think will be the four-post next test? Indian ones, obviously, Sharma will come back in. Siraj, Bumrah if he wishes to, and Umesh Yadav for sure. Do you see Lord Tuckle in India's squad too? Yes, I think he will be in. Absolutely. Why Bumrah not playing? He was injured. He was recovering. He's played a lesser form of cricket. He's back though. They were. Don't say Shardul. He is Lord Shardul. Sorry, I'll say Lord Shardul. No, I don't think they're going to drop anyone from the side. They're not going to drop anyone from the side. Not drop. Injury-wise, they might, but not drop. Indian team will make the World Test Championship finals at this time. Siddharth Kumar, I've just said before, the only change will be potentially Sharma coming in, and you would argue that potentially Pujara might be out because of injury. We'll see how Rohit goes. You're right, we must concentrate on our positive. Exactly. Only concentrate on positive. Has the ball reversed this series at all? No, but it reversed today, especially when it was in the hands of Bumrah and Thakur. Where does the trophy series ends? I think it still stays with England, I think. This is when all the time greatest winning in England. No, we're getting close to it. The Lord's one was pretty high up as well, if not better. This is right up there, though. But they've got to win the series now. They can't relax too much. They've got to win the series, don't they? That's very, very important. Let's hope they win the series. This live broadcast has gone for 2 hours and 30 minutes. Feels like 5 minutes because I'm enjoying it a lot. Who will win? I've mentioned it already. I think, yeah, I've got a feeling there could be. I've got a feeling there could be. Now you come live during IPL. Absolutely, Patricia. I was there for 29 matches during the IPL. The first section. This is the last 31 matches. I was there every match for the first 29 matches, both on my channel and on extra time. Do you think recent years? Yep. 9. Okay. Will you come live? Yes, I already mentioned that. They can. No, it won't be Anderson last match. That is Sachin Tendulkar's book by Bora Majumdar, autobiography. Thank you. No, I think rain or no rain, India are going to do their best. Yes. Yes, absolutely. Gabba's the biggest. Lord's second, Oval third, but they're all great. All in 1 year too. Amazing. If India wins the series, what I think it's best India. Yes, I do. No, they're runners up. India wins 3. I think so. I think they will win 3-1. Absolutely. Because he's coming back from injury. That's all. No, Pavan, no one's going to be replacing Rahane in this series. Will there be a chance of it? No. No, it's not. Thank you, Kishore Chaudhary. My favourite IPL team is Kolkata Knight Riders, but Delhi Capitals will win this year with Mumbai Indians up there. When will you call Chloe Aminabali in your show? Pawan Kumar, we've already discussed that. We'll see when she gets the chance to do so. Not at 4 a.m. in the morning. Not. All right. or they're going to learn to bat with a bit more aggression. That's what Joe Root said. Rahane won't get rested just yet. There is much more probability for winning this year because of that. Yep, certainly right. Only Wood coming in at this stage. Virat Kohli captaincy is the best captain in India's ever had. Most successful captain, one of the best captains in the world, actually. There's more. Okay. Deepak Dubey. How are you? Deepak Dubey. Please say my name. I'm a huge fan. Thank you. Make sure that you subscribe. If you haven't. How many changes getting one? Only Wood, I think. Only Wood. Only Wood will come in. What's the time there? It's 4 a.m. in the morning. Anderson or Bumrah. At this stage, Bumrah. No, Shami could be there. Could. Absolutely. What is extra time? Extra time is a platform called XTRA Time. They've got about 760-something thousand subscribers. I've been on that platform all summer. COVID situation in Sydney is not good. Please share the link to that or the chat with Chloe. Yeah, I will. When it happens. Thank you. I think so. You'd have to say so. His bowling is better. Root's one of the top 4 batsmen, no doubt. No. Thank you, Ariam Chahar. I normally don't even start by this time. Josh Butler won't be available. What do you think about Mahi as in Dhoni? Very good. At the moment, Bumrah, Kohli, and he brings a Rohit Sharma. The T20 squad, it's going to be a predictable squad. Thakur's the one that'll get in there that isn't in there at the moment. Okay. Anderson's better in terms of history. Robinson's the future. Okay. Ovens has got a hand injury, has he? Well, he was never going to be selected. I think it was always going to be Wood. Anyway. Yeah, Jadeja certainly bowled well. It was a good delivery to Hamid. How was Indian team preparing now for this? Shouldn't matter. They'll be self-training guys. They've been together all the series. They'll be still able to be online discussions. Will he play Ashes or retired after that? I think Jimmy Anderson's either going to retire next Test match or go all the way into the England season next year. He won't retire in Australia in the Ashes. He'll retire at home. I'm pretty sure. So look at that. Abhishek Sharma. I'm getting tired though. Vera Anderson, who was the best? Well, they're versus that. They're better bowlers. You can't compare them that way. My England team for Old Trafford would be Burns, Hamid, Milan, Root, Pope, Ware, Bairstow, Wokes, Wood, Robinson, Leach, Anderson. You bring in Leach in place of Moeen Ali and Wood or replace Overton. That'd be interesting. Yeah, that's true. Ankur Naik, I've already had Vikrant Gupta as a guest. I had a discussion with him a few months ago, a month or so ago. Have a look back through my videos and you'll find one with Vikrant Gupta. What was the turning point, Ollie Pope, or Drew wrote? I think Rory Burns when it all first started. Root is, at the moment, Virat slightly ahead, but Root, batting-wise, is probably better at this moment. It certainly is like Ashmit, Robin, is an iconic with victory. Do you get annoyed by the incorrect use of language? No, I don't mind at all. Hello, sir. Hello there too. Not many players retire just before the Ashes. Anderson is very competitive. I know he'll probably play. He won't retire at the Ashes either. He'll probably retire in England next year. Absolutely. What do you think it will be? Ben Stokes will come back on the 5th test. Now, Ben Stokes is ruled out for the series. He's probably ruled out until the summer, our summer, Australian summer. The way Indian bowlers threatened of England. It's been great. Thanks, Mr. Cricket. Thank you. Yeah, go back and have a look at Uncle Nick. I've actually had a good chat with Vikram Gupta. Very, 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 very good long chat. Very, very good long chat. This has been a good session, guys. Absolutely. England have dropped a lot of catches this match, and India have taken them. Rohit Sharma was great. Who will win the next Test match? You'd have to say India. Tell us about Manchester pitch in weather conditions. Manchester pitch is a fast bowler friendly picket. It'll be rain around and it'll be overcast. It'll be very good bowling conditions. And it's Anderson's home ground. Who was best, Burns or Hamid? Neither. Is my shoulder okay? Yes, it is. My Indian team for Old Trafford: Rohit, Rahul, Pujara, Kohli, Vihari, Jadeja, Punt, Ashwin, Thakur, Sharma. Okay. I think Rahane stays in there, and I think Pujara may be the one out because of injury. And Tim, I don't think Ashwin's going to come in. Not because he's not deserving of a game, but it's not about that. The conditions are not, they're going by way of conditions for bowlers. He's not suited to that pitch, if that's the way they're arguing. And like cricket should, they like, my son's a member of the SCG, yeah. My son is Christopher. Jasper Bulmer showed his class today. Oh, he absolutely did. It's not my new channel. It's Bob for most of the year. Got some rest. Oh, next game is not far away. True. Yeah, it was an arm, wasn't it? More than a hand. India. Good night, sir. Good night. Well, I'll try and get Chloe in there, all right? People might be difficult. Melinda's a good friend. Just now, good on you. Trilok Singh Badai, thanks for the love. Wear your Santa, I will. You must sleep, Norman, please. Okay. The series will be tie, or who will lift this trophy? England will, I'm afraid, because they won't win that. They'll get beaten. Don't worry, England will come hard. And they will start fit back. You're right. You're right. All right, guys, I'm going to start to consider winding up now. I've gone for 2 hours and 42 minutes. It was an early finish. So Kim Mahmood's got a side strain. Will England throw the dice, go for a green wicket at Manchester? Yes. Hi guys, Sundar Lal, Promod Kesha Raprama. So should England have changed the squad for the 5th test? Would. Hi guys, good night, sir. Good night, Mr. Cricket. Yeah, I do think that the Gabba Test victory will be iconic. Having 9 players out was amazing. Yep. I'm from Coogee Beach, Sydney, Australia. No, they can't. No, they can't. I do. Hello, Bob. Never I will. I'm missing a bit of sakes this time. There certainly are. How a good, great session as always. Thank you, Abhishek. I think England only takes us seriously and other. No, that's not true. That's not true at all. This is not a second string England team. Yes, I will be. I'll have a post-match debrief, Uncle Mark. Okay. You have to email me, send a message to my Instagram with your email address. Shashank Kumar Mishra, India show, better champion in class. Absolutely. Sundar, I'll stop saying hi. We've said hi to you 5 times. The final test would be the most interesting one. It will be. No, this has been an interesting one today. Isn't it? Thank you. Never understood India. Good point. Which is a fair point. They are. No, well, I don't know how you got my WhatsApp number, to be honest with you. Jay Prakash Jay, hi, how are you? Anderson's record is better, but Brommer is certainly equal to him. No, they can't. They can't. Thank you, Shashank Kumar Mishra. I appreciate that. Shanawaz Dani. I will have a look out for him. One, two, three, four, five. This goes into third highest, fourth highest. Actually. Fourth highest. It's very good. My God, you guys make it. I read that. Yeah, they are harsh, but we don't know how they're going to go. I hope they're not injured for long. McGrath or Anderson? Oh, McGrath. Pramod Keshri Promo. I'm actually in Coogee Beach, Sydney, Australia. Very close to the Sydney Cricket Ground, the SCG. Live very close to them. Guys, this is the 4th biggest live show I've had. I had a couple of 40,000, one 36,000. This is a 26,000. Very good. What's the reason ball more swing? Because the ball gets held in the air, it becomes heavier, and it's one side of it's roughened up. It swings the other way. He did for this. Exactly. India, by far. Yeah, Shardul Thakur. Who's your favourite singer? God. Me. I'm in the shower. I'm my favourite singer. He'll be the Australian top 5. Oh, God. Glenn Maxwell. Oh, God. This year. That's a very, very good point. India. What about Jigar Rahane having some trouble with his batting, but he was vice captain and ultimately captain earlier this year when they won the Gabba Test, the best test ever for India, and he scored a century. But I wouldn't go knock him. He played well back 2 tests ago when he played with Pujara. I'm not going to have a go at him. It did. It absolutely did. It really, really, really did. That was a big, big turning point. I like life. It's a great point. I like that. That's a good point. Modern cricketers don't have the long concentration required to script too many collapses. It's partly true. Who is the best team you're thinking? India or Australia? India, without a doubt. Can't even begin to compare India and Australia. India are clearly the top team. All right. Absolutely. Ask bro, I won't give it my email. Just you send me details. Instagram. Could be. Butler's not back yet. Shami was injured. He had some sort of enabling injury. That's why he didn't play. India will win this series, definitely. We'll wait and see about that. Temperature is 18 degrees Celsius. Let's hope they do. It's just agree. I don't agree with Kevin Pearson at all. Here's Sunday Hapwithin Tanathri. You should be really happy now, Norman. Well, you should be happy too because India won. Who's Stardust? Sundar Lal, stop saying "hi guys." You said it 50 times. Do I watch football? Yeah, I watch football. Absolutely. If you're online now, you should be. I am info postmaster. Thank you. I appreciate that. Well, we'll see. No, I don't think so. Abhimanyu Badoria, I don't think so. We'll see. The final. You mean it's the satellite teams, the fringe teams, or for the semi-finals? For the semi-finals, is going to be India, England, West Indies, and either Pakistan, New Zealand. You're not happy, okay? We shouldn't be. They were beaten by a better side. Yes, I have. England has to be included there too. New Zealand. Hardik Yadav, I don't know. It's too early. So let's be selective. I'm not going to guess this one. Should there be a real stopping subfield that's been near the square? You mean like having Sky and the slips? Yeah, I think that's a fair point. It's a fair point indeed. Let's look at those numbers. Okay. Huge crowd joining us, guys. Still joining us at 4:20. In fact, it's midnight in India. So okay. If I were in the UK, I wouldn't have spoke to Root, and I would have spoke to Root. So you're not in the UK. You're suddenly, where are you? Are you in Sri Lanka? Where? I thought you were in England. No, there'll be no reserve days. I am happy with it. I am happy. We'll see whether Pajara is actually able to play or not. Great win. It was not as big as Lords or the Gabba, but it was still a great win. Thank you. Goal there, Cash. That's good. It's a great discussion. It'll be a great match. You'd think India. World Test Championship will be bigger over time. The World Cup is the same as the World Test Championship, really. Okay. Okay. Okay, guys, I'm getting really tired now. I've been on for almost 3 hours, guys. I'm going to have to consider getting off pretty soon. We've had lots of guests on today. We had great discussions for the 3 hours. The game has been, in the balance for some time now. If you give me a second, guys, I'll just yes, Sunday, do you want to come on live? Do you want to come on live? Yes, Sunday, you want to come on live? Okay, good. She's gone. India's done well. I certainly am watching closely. Yeah, the run-outs you can't stop. They can be anywhere in the field. Yeah. Your colleagues done fantastically well, guys. Do I know Mrs. Dhoni? No, I don't know her personally, no. Although my mother and Dhoni had some time together. If you look through the videos, you'll see that they were there together. Tucker's better than Smith. That's a big call. Thank you, guys. We've gone almost 3 hours, guys. Series prediction is definitely going to be India winning. RG looks my graph. That's nice. Good, Rakesh. India will win very clearly. Okay. Vihari, yep, I would say Vihari's is a bit later, but like about 6 p.m. Indian time tomorrow. I think so. I could be 2. Yes, it will. Well, he's pretty good. That's a very good point, Abhishek. I would say that's a very, very relevant point. Takes fast bowling, bounce, suits bowling. Not good. You should be not there. Yes, he will. From what I'm looking at, not the iPad. I won't be in the UAE then, and maybe there for the World Cup. I'm trying. Three hours online, guys. I'm starting to get tired. But happy still. I know. We know that. No, that's a bit hard, Tim. Good on you. That's a good question, but he's not there, and they're not there. Thank you. I don't know what that stands for. Yeah, I do. England don't prepare pitches. It's the ground that prepare the pitches. The English management don't prepare pitches. It's not quite what you think. Australia won't win the T20 World Cup. No way. Shane, so I am in Coogee Beach, Sydney, Australia. India's now the god of cricket. Let's say. I love the opera, yes. If England don't win the World Cup, they will have to go back to the drawing board. Yeah, they will. Sharmi will play next match. Punjab may be rested, you're right. Agarwal. They may have to make injury changes. They may also bring in Sharmi. Stako's got a way to go to be Jack Carlos, but yeah. No, I haven't, Hushkilton. Yes. Yeah, that's a good point. Good on you. Good on you. Okay, guys. I've got 93 people watching now. If you're watching, you're going to view, like, and share my YouTube channel. Eyes on Cricket with Norman Kochnick. Eyes on Cricket with Norman Kochnick. Subscribe. Go about the notification button. Go to my LinkedIn and my Instagram. Go to my Facebook and my so-called LinkedIn pages. How often do I travel abroad? When I can, I do it as much as I can. But the last 2 years have been very difficult because of COVID, obviously. So the thanks, Tiwin Kumar. I really appreciate that comment. Really appreciate that comment. You're working in India for Sydney Hospital. So how does that work? You're in India, but you're working in conjunction with India Hospital. Okay. Thank you, Exit Education Hub. I appreciate that. You must have a good YouTube channel there too. Exit Education Hub. I hope you've subscribed. Tucker was better than Jack Carlos. A bit early. Do you want to see any changes in the England team for the fifth test? Well, not a matter of wanting to. I don't think myself Ollie Pope, to be honest. But anyway, even though he got 80 odd, Mark Wood will come in. Sure, Claude. I'm not sure how close he is to coming. Do you want to see any changes? Thank you, guys. Thank you. I appreciate that. I really appreciate the comment. I don't know whether Sharma will replace Siraj. We'll see. I'm feeling sad for Red. Yeah, you got to feel sorry for him. Pascal. Today, Emma Viner, I think you're new. Can you make sure you subscribe if you haven't? Today, England's middle order collapsed badly. They did too. I like Delhi Capitals to win, but my team favourite normally is KKR. Butler would make it there, but I don't think he's coming back yet. Good on you. Good on you. Why not? Oh, there's quite a few. There's a lot of Pakistani players, a lot of England players, a lot of Australian players. No, not Australian players, Indian players. Good on you. Come and visit. Manu John's return. The whole England Test batting squad needs to be torn down and clearly revamped. That's a bit hard, Manu John. Have you had a good think about that statement? That's a big statement. 10 to 20 years early doesn't seem. No, it's been great. Ashwin probably won't come in. I don't know whether they're going to do that. I really don't. A girlfriend for us, Indians fans in the ground really helped seeing. They did that. That support would help anyone. I know Mr. Dhoni. Yeah, Mr. Not Mrs. Okay. Thunderstorm from the India, not from the weather. Agree with that. It won't be. Yeah, that's true. That's true. That may have been a different scenario. It's a fair point to suggest that. Okay. Am I boring you? Well, and why are you watching? A masterpiece bowling by Jasper Boom Boom. Exactly. Absolutely. All right, guys. I've got to consider going now. I think I've had a great session with you guys. That's true. It is a masterpiece by Jasper Boom. He bowled fantastically well. In fact, the highlight should come out very soon. I don't know whether he can say his Test career is finished. That's a hell of a statement. Best Test team in the world, Rahul Sarawat, is India. India. Abhishek Pandit. The next best thing is. Yes, Sundar Dalal. It is true that we won today. Monday, I think India will win 3-1. Yes, they will. I will try. Just checking on a couple of the other scores happening around the grounds. Let's have a look here. Let's see if there's any results. Okay. USA have defeated Papua New Guinea. Or 3 for 159 after 28 overs. Papua New Guinea were all out for 158. US won by 7 wickets with 130 balls remaining. They played that in El Emirat, which is actually in Oman. Interesting. England under 19s defeated the West Indies under 19s that played at Beckenham. Interesting. That's where, well, I think I spoke earlier, but the team there, it's interesting. Let's look at the Indian team, England team. Jacob Bethel is a good player. James Rue, Alex Horton, Sonny Baker. There's a few players that are particularly good there, actually. Just saving the photos. Okay. What am I doing here? My favourite system would have to be a combination of, well, I've been to 103 countries. My favourite is Maldives, New York, LA, Los Angeles, as in London, Paris, India, Mumbai, Kolkata, you name it. I liked going to Amritsar. That was a lot of fun too. Manav Shah, I'm from Australia. I'm from Sydney, Coogee Beach in Australia. Okay. What is the reason Wednesday good performance of India? They were determination. It's determination. The way that they played. They did. John, your comments are great. Where are you, sir? I'm from Sydney, or Coogee Beach, Sydney, Australia, and I've been reporting on the end of the series all the way through. Roy Burns missed on 6. That could well have been. We'll see. You're watching my Joe Root movie, which was good. No, it's not true. It would have been interesting to see how those two players would have impacted on the series. I think so. It's fair, VJ. Sorry, Panagar. Do you think Virat Kohli can win at least one World Cup? He will eventually. Your favourite place addition is? Favourite place? Kolkata. Favourite dish? A mutton curry or a lamb curry? Strapped is what? Injury-wise strapped? I was involved in federal government. Yeah, he's available the Ashes. That's a long way off at the moment. We've got an IPL to consider, a World Cup. We've got India versus New Zealand, Afghanistan even tested, and then we'll get to the Test series. AJ, stop spamming. Stop spamming. Well, that's just win the side. I don't think England could have gone beyond 150. Well, it's hard to say that now. Rahane will play the end of the series, yes. Especially if Pajara's injured, they'll keep him in there. Yeah, Milan is a good player. He's not good. He is, and he should be playing. I agree. Yeah, they weren't that good in the field, were they? You can't say they were good in the field. You can't say they were that good in the field, were they? Now, I think a lot of people are saying the opposite, Rakesh Krishnan. I think they're actually saying that they were beaten by a better side. How can Ponting play in place of Smith? Ponting's retired. No, it's too early to say. But I mean, I think Zach Crawley will get a go too. Ansel will play or not, he's going to want to play. When Joe Denley these days and Jack Leach should play. Yeah, they're both good players. I would argue that there's a fair bit of merit there for them to play, yes. It's going well. The Joe Root interview was worth listening to. He was very humble, very understanding. He's a very understanding guy. Let's have a look here. All right. I don't think delivering with Charlotte gets Root out was pretty ordinary, yeah. It's going to be interesting. I don't know whether they're going to be that good. Yeah, Joe Denley could have been given a better go. I would agree with that. 38th victory, Sesson Aslam. 38th victory for Skipper Colling. It is quite significant. Pujara's ankle's obviously taking him out of feeling for the rest of the match. He's in serious doubt to play in the 5th test, let's be honest. Absolutely in serious doubt. All right, guys. Will England win the next game? Ashim Berry. Are you related to Halle Berry? I wonder. England will next game. I think India, on momentum-wise, should win the next game, but England will go in there. It's going to make it still an interesting series because India haven't won the series yet, even though they're 2-1 up. It's been great. If England play these kind of cricket against Australia, it's pretty sure Australia has the upper hand. It's hard to say. Australia hasn't played Test cricket for the entire year. How are you, Sartre? Anyway, I'm happy. Satish Kumasamy. Cricket explainer, so big fan. I appreciate that. Root's better than Smith at the moment by a good night. Do you have any idea what will be the venues for the Ashes series? That's a good question because, of course, the Ashes series could be affected by COVID. If that's the case, they may move it to 1 or 2 grounds. At this stage, they're going on as planned, but we don't really know that. We can't comment. COVID's still not good here. Still not good. We have to wait and see how COVID goes. Okay. Will be available the next match. It doesn't look like he's going to come back that quickly. I think that he'll probably be out for the rest of the series to give fair time for his wife. So I think you won't find him in the rest of the series, guys. Doing well, guys. Despite the loss, England have players like Pope, first things and Wokes all round. Yes, that's true. Himanshu Chaudhary, you've joined me now. Welcome. No, I don't think Ashwin will get a chance. Not because he doesn't deserve it, just to see how the game around. Okay, I want all the Ashes matches to be day night so I can watch. I don't think, Tim, they're going to just do it just for you somehow. I think that's a bit of a a privilege. What about me? I like all the games to be when I'm awake. I've got to be awake at 4:46 a.m. in the morning. Okay. Do you think Sky deserves a chance to place Rahane? No, not yet. He's who didn't put electrifying Robinson in the thumbnail. Well, I put Shardul Tucker with his arms wide open because I thought he was going to play of the match. He didn't. Very close, guys, to 30,000 viewers. 30,000 viewers from the series. I'm very, very proud of that. And I must thank you all for those that are online now that haven't subscribed. 30,000 people have watched this show tonight. That's a magnificent thing for me. What's taking the umpire's call? Oh, it was okay. Why England don't play day-night test matches? Good question. I want to confirm that pitch condition is changed something or something other. No, it hasn't. It was a batting paradise. Scoreboard pressure created the situation where India, capitulated. England capitulated for sure. All right, guys. What should be mentally prepared for show team against Jofra Archer? They're not going to be. Vinay Kumar, Jofra Archer's unlikely to go at this stage. Very, very, very unlikely to go. Mike says amazing. He was one of the best bowling all-rounders in the world. True. It was. Yeah, I do. It was a bit of a Taragi. I would agree. It was a rather disappointing effort. Thanks, Harsh Gupta. I think I'm just about had enough, guys. 30,000's the number that I've got there. Yeah, that along with the wicket of Burns, because there was no wickets down at that stage. So no. India, for sure. Very, 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 very unlikely. Malik Hussain. Bumba has turned into an potential, well, big call to him. Big call. Pressure certainly is more difficult sometimes. Performance, because pressure is mental. Performance is more almost skill. Where do you put your mic? Mic's in my phone. I'm just speaking to the phone. Look, there's no mic at all. Okay. When India will go to South Africa. India going to South around the same time as the Ashes, like December, January, I think. Ben Stokes was missed badly. Absolutely Himanshu Chaudhary. I would totally agree with that. Totally and utterly agree with that one. Oh, it's not necessarily good. I think you can use a mic. Why? Am I not loud enough? Is that what you're saying? Don't you think England team was too much dependent on Root and Anderson? Yep. Totally agree. Pink ball or red ball? Red ball every time. John Sun, India. That's good. I appreciate that. All right, guys, it's starting to run. I can see that we're wavering with numbers. They both have their place. Well, after today's performance, you have to argue you're right. Islam Java could be in jail. No. Yeah, they could have went with a bigger. They could have went back with the foot on the throat more. That's probably the case. Next courage required for screen. Yeah, they probably needed to have more toughness. They capitulated again at Lords, and they capitulated today. Rahane has to just clear his head and just bat, and not he's falling in front of his wicket. Just start to bat with bat first, not pad first. A piece of Virat or Karat. You have to say Virat. Deb strategy. England have got the chance course. Lord Shuttle, he's just got this knack of batting and playing good shots, bowling good overs, good deliveries. He's got this spark about him. They're both of the spark about him, I must say. And punt too, even after winning it. What do you think? They're not going to. Okay. Yeah, I don't necessarily think it made too much of a difference, to be honest with you. At all. Seven more people to reach 9,500. It's good. England need to be better at catch where they were, Tim. You've been on a long time with me today. Very long time with me. 19,000. India. No, he shouldn't. Time to read the English team. Not quite. Either Vihari or Vihari Agarwal. Yeah, they should. No, he won't be out. Sky's not yet. Have you visited your ever said 20 times debate to many times, 20 times more? Well, I don't know. Why are you laughing? Well, Stewart going to play 5 tests. You mean Stuart Broad or Anderson? Here talking about who's Stewart? Stuart Broad? I don't know whether he's still fit yet. I think he's out for the whole series. MD Sahil Rahani's going to play the next match at this point in time. No, I think they're still going to play Rahane. Numbers are still going up. I ate too much rubbish. What a joke. What's the joke? I did. Looks pretty good side. Who'll win at Old Trafford? India, England, your favourite. India. Is Wi-Fi expensive in Australia? Harsh Compton? Not really. It's pretty okay. Is there any more? Let's have a look here. Okay. Lands of play Manchester, yes. Sky Vihari, you pick the next test. Vihari. Hello, Norman. What's make you awake at 4? Just asking. Keyboard warrior. I'm talking to my supporters. Your channel is great. Keep going. Love you for a minute. Thank you. Your favourite Sachin or Virat? Sachin. And Virat's good too. What about James Anderson versus Ferret Kyle? Pretty even now. What do you think about England? Well, England will play well. They could make the final with India. And there's also West Indies as a dark horse, and obviously Pakistan and New Zealand. All right. Could you upload some videos from your travelling? I will. I'll see. Thank you, Vidyat Prasad. Nidal Kapoor. Don't you think current Australia and England focus too much on Ashes? Yeah, they do a bit. I would argue they do a bit. Manchester will suit England more ball. Well, and you'll do well. Norman, do you think Aussies can? No. IPL predictions. Delhi Capitals. Should they pick? Yes, they should. They should pick him for the T20 World Cup. To give the rest to Rahane and give it to him. It's a good idea, but it won't happen. What's the condition of COVID in Australia? It's bad. It's thousands a day. People are dying. It's not good. Not good. Not good at all. My team for 11 for the Old Trafford. Mayank, Rahul, Sky, Rahane, Vihari, Saha. P. Krishna. He's not in the shot. Okay. Sky, you're leaving Rahane, you're taking Virat Kohli out. I don't think it's going to happen. Rahane's staying in. Hey, Norman, I just love your dedication. Thank you, Kiwi. Woohoo, I'm a DC fan myself. I think they will win. I will, though. What made in Australia happy? England lose. So it's probably his second last chance to play at the ground. He'll be playing. He's doing very well. Don't knock him. I'm from Australia, from Coogee Beach, Sydney, Australia. Malik Hussain. Have you subscribed to my channel? Subscribe to my channel, please. So do I. England, Lords, definitely. Lords by a country mile is my favourite. KKR, but Delhi Capitals win. I didn't expect that. What didn't you expect? What equivalent do you use? Live streaming on YouTube. It's called StreamYard. StreamYard. I'm thinking we're going for another hour, guys. I'm enjoying this. You would have to think Australia. You would have to think Australia. No, I think it's the best thing to watch. 5 test matches are great to watch. Root's still on 1 at the moment. Williams is number 2. Virat's 3. Smith is 4. Baba's asked 5. Thank you. Mate goes, let me know. I will. Sure. Have you subscribed first, though? Have you subscribed? I think Australia might win 3-2, but we'll see. Feels very bad for Root. You don't want advising him winning. He's going on too much. Nidhi Kapoor, maybe not. Hang on, what's the issue that green cap behind? Just curious. That's the SCG11 cap. Can you see that? SCG11 cap. Sydney Cricket Ground 11. Thank you very much. Whatever probable Aussies got for the Ashes. They're going to be very boring and keep the same. Which cricketing website do you follow? Cricket Info. I Sky Channel when I saw a show reaction video. Thank you. Who was the most memorable test match for you? There's a lot of them. Anderson's a great professional bowlers, many overs back, and he has. It's best bat at Rudall. Virat slowly. How many 100 Bruce will score in 100? Well, let's see. I don't know. Thanks, SCG11 cap. Correct. I play for the SCG11. I'm the most capped player for the SCG11. Okay, Malik Hassan, good on you. I will, even if Root makes triple century. Then, yeah, true. What was it? No, it's a crescendo to a 2 or 3 year period. That's what it is. Okay. I've just reached 19,501 subscribers. That's a bit of a milestone for me. Clap, 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 clap. Anyone that's online now, subscribe. Hit the subscribe button. Subscribe to subscribed. Then hit the notification button. Ding, ding. Also go view, like, and share. Look at my old videos. Share it with others through WhatsApp, Facebook Messenger, Instagram, email services, word of mouth, you name it. Okay? No, I could be watching the World Cup. Yes, I was. Yes. Thank you. Well, Lord's confirmed. I don't think it's at Lord's necessarily. I thought it might have been in New Zealand because they won it. Yeah, he is the deal before. You got to celebrate a person's play like that. Keep increasing my subscribers, please. Waiting for 20,000 Hushcopters. Getting close. It's only 498 away. What? Nasser Hussain said in commercial MSC works. Yeah, that's true. Do you like? Why not? No, it is Lords in 2020. It is definitely at Lords 2020. Is that definite? Is it definite? I think you're right. Well, they had a serious choice on it. They didn't play badly. Take on English weather. It's England. It's the conditions that make it difficult for players. It's part of the whole thing. What, love it or not like it, that's the case. Do you think Aussies will be qualified next World Team? No. What chance do you expect for the next match? I think India will still win. England will come back, but India will win. That's showing celebrity. Well, the Prime Minister, certainly not. Olivia Newton-John. Hopelessly devoted to you. Ooh. Hopelessly devoted to you. I'm sure he's mentoring a lot of players. Do you know both the coaches of Pakistan? Yes. I don't know what's going on there. Misbah Al-Hakim are 2 great coaches. I don't know what's going on there. That's beyond me. Why that's happened. What about the Chris Wokes? Great player. Very good player. Yeah, very updated that final at Lords. Okay, did he say that? Did he? All right. Please sing Alan Walker, Faded. I don't know what he. So what chance do you expect in terms of players level? Ali injury will bring them in. Mark Wood will come back, and probably Sharmi will come back, and Pujara's injury and Rohit Sharma's injury will be the decision making. Should Smith get a chance to cap the hit? Absolutely no. Absolutely no. A treat to watch the individual performance leading to a favourite victory. That was a great victory, guys. Congratulations. Where am I online now? I am in Coogee Beach, Sydney, Australia. What about punt? Punt's great. Can you say that again? I haven't heard it properly. What? Hopelessly devoted to you. I think so too much. I would agree with that. I think South Africa can return to its original superb form, which was 7 or 8 years back. It's going to be a hard, long road for South Africa. They lack leaders like De Villiers at the moment. We need more live show, but as your convenience time. Thank you. What's your favourite Australian stadium? SCG, Sydney Cricket Ground. Of course I'm going to say that. Such is cool, son. Thank you. The COVID situation in Sydney is grim. We've got some 1,500 people. Things are not going well, guys. All right, guys. I've got 60 people online. I thank you all for your time, but I'm going to have to call it a day. I've been on for 3 hours and 41 minutes. But please subscribe to the channel before you go. My favourite in the feud is mutton curry. How would you rate the performance for the Indian Summer was amazing. Gabba was the top one. The Lord's Test will be second. This is third, but they're all very good. Who could prove to be the next race? Maybe Maxwell to the yesterday. Okay, hang on. Thanks, Norman. Okay. No. Good work. Thank you, guys. All right. I'm going, guys. I have to go. Out of you 70 people that are online now, if you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button, notification button at Norm Koch, which is my Instagram and my Twitter handle. Please don't forget to view, like, and share the post. Share through WhatsApp, Facebook Messenger, Instagram, your personal emails, and obviously in person. And on top of that, go to my LinkedIn and my Facebook page where my name is Norman Kochnick. Eyes on Cricket with Norman Kochnick. Eyes on Cricket with Norman Kochnick at Norm Koch, YouTube, Twitter, and Instagram. But please subscribe to my channel. All right, guys. I'm going to go, guys. I'll see you later.